think.
Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to this week's GKP Live. Hope everybody's good and had a good week up to press. Usual thing, we'll be right back after this. Welcome back. Good evening, Crafty. How are you doing, mate? You good?
Good, mate. Yourself?
I'm very well, thank you.
I'm just having
How you doing, Daz? What? Hang about. What's that? That looks like a
cheeky egg custard.
Cheeky egg custard. I thought it was a scone for a minute. I was just going to say my favourite. But you went with an egg custard, which are disgusting.
I'm trying to get one ahead of Crafty.
Oh, they start, mate, straight away. Whack. Have that.
Mate, I didn't got anything to put in my mouth.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us straight off the bat. That was greatly appreciated. We've got a couple that just dropped in afterwards there. We've got Marcus and Cody Sky. That says, evening all. Thank you very much for joining us. Bubble and Fins, good evening, everyone. Hope you've had a good week so far. Let's get ready for another great Thursday Night Live with Gaz and the guys. Thank you very much, Vicky. Appreciate it. Mr. Taylor, how you doing, bud? Good evening, everyone. And the panel, of course. Might share the clip, mate. We'll get a bit of feedback from everybody else as well, because I know these guys have both seen them. So if we do, mate, at least then they can advise the best course as well. Matt Giles says, good evening, Gaz, Crafty and all. Good evening, bud. Hope you're well, mate. Lebo, that says, evening, people. Good evening. Mr. DT says, already, straight off the bat, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, guys and girls. Thank you very much, Dave. Greatly appreciate it. We've got Chris Taylor says, hi, guys, Crafty and Daz. I think, did I just read that out already?
Oh, yeah.
Sweet Acre Koi Farm says, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Chris. I hope you're well, love.
Evening.
Hit that thumbs up. #8 on the way in. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. And a nice one from Chris. Yeah. Oh, hopefully, fingers crossed, mate. I'm pretty sure it is, but the more eyes, the better. That's what we want. We got George Murdoch that says, evening, everyone. How's it going, mate?
George.
Fishing coming along. Hope you've been having some good sessions in LA.
What kind of fishing does he do? Is it pike fishing?
I think he does carp fishing, but I also think he might be a fly angler as well.
Ah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, George. Alan says, evening all. Sorry, I was reading the message above them, thinking that Chris had put it in again, saying hi to us all, but it was saying hi. Mr. Hadfield says, I can't get in. I'll send you the link. It's in. I'll send it to you again. There was 1 second.
Lee, you've got to type it into your search.
Fly fishing for trout. There you go.
Cool.
What are you on, Lee? What device are you on? Are you on your mobile? Ooh. Don't want to send you that. That sounded wrong, didn't it? But it wasn't.
Right,
It was just a question I Googled. There you go, mate. There's a link there in Thingy-Bob. Forgot what they call it. Messenger. Got to even use as Messenger. Remember the original Messenger? Paul Hutchinson says, evening all. Good evening, Paul. Hope you're good. Yeah, he says there, look, Daz, fly fishing for trout. Have you ever fly fished for carp? Man, that's exciting. But a bit scary at the same time and all because you think your rod's going to snap.
I'm assuming that's brownies he's going for then.
Well, I would imagine it'll be probably rainbow and brownies, won't it? Brownies if he's on river and probably rainbow if he's still waters.
Yeah, rainbows have to be stocked though, wouldn't they? I don't think they stock Lomond, not Lomond. Unless he doesn't fish in Loch Lomond. I'm just assuming.
I don't know. Mark Marriott Sky says, good evening with a thumbs up.
Evening, Mike.
On the to-do list, mate, it's a buzz, I tell you. What I were actually trying to do, I was trying to catch some chub that were all on the surface of his local pond. And I was using like a dog biscuit imitation, like the little round ball thing. Well, yeah, about a 12-pound mirror carp took it and it scared me to death, man. I didn't think I'd have enough line on reel as it were whizzing off, thinking, shit, if I don't turn this fish. And I tried, you bang into it to turn it, and I thought, it's going to snap my rod, it's going. And I'm like that. I just winced. It just turned, come back to me. I thought, thank God for that. Yes, I can, mate. First. There you go, mate. Click that, quick. Click.
Haley Shag Great Rowan.
The speed of Mr. Hadfield. Oh, he says there, no, Daz, don't fish Loch Lomond. Is that right? Yeah, Gaz. You can use, that's it. Yeah, it's like, that's the one. It's like a deer hair, isn't it? They're all trimmed like a little fuzzy ball.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm just having my own private conversation with George. But I tell you what, mate, have you ever gone
scary face
and caught grayling? Grayling are brilliant on fly rod, man. You get a nice little grayling like this sort of size, but they don't half fight them, man.
They use the dorsal
up in water, and they just sit there. They don't move. Cool. Oh, right, there we go. She'll come back to the Alan. Very few carp in Scotland, only a few fisheries.
Yeah. Same with Ireland. There's not that many places in Ireland where you can carp fish.
That surprised me, that, because, oh, yes, Ireland's more of a bream area, isn't it? They're a lot head of bream, aren't they, over there?
Yeah, bream and roach, yeah.
Got me all.
Thanks, guys. Sorry, I don't know what it was, but I couldn't kind of copy. There was no link. I don't know how to do it. It was just I just do it this way. It's easier.
You just put your finger on it, hold down, and it says copy, and then you go copy. Press.
Oh, okay. Why didn't
That's
you
all
say
you do
that?
on your mobile. That is, if you got it on your mobile, if it comes up, if there's ever something there, you press your finger on one of the letters and to hold down on it, and then it'll come up saying copy. Click copy, and then go to where you want to put it and click paste.
All right, Daz, you're making me sound like a mong. Okay.
It's all right, Lee. I've never copied anything, pasted anything in my life.
Daz is just. Daz
Well,
is
obviously,
like, it's shocking.
obviously, Daz looks like he's copied lots of his friends' homework to get his GCSEs, to get his form and stuff.
it's probably true. Probably did.
Anyway, how are you, gentlemen? I must say, we are probably the 4 best friends that anyone's ever had.
Not very well,
That's
mate.
my favourite song. But
How did the skiing go? Oh, sorry,
mate, skiing was really good. Oh, mate. Yeah, no, skiing was really good, right? So I sort of like gate crashed a stag do, and I didn't know the guy getting married, but I do now, and they are amazing guys. But yeah, on the Wednesday, so we had 2 really good days of boarding. Then it was a whiteout on the Wednesday. We went to a bar which was 3,500 meters up. I'm not sure if I got spiked or not, or whether it was just altitude and a lot of drink, but I had to sleep in the snow for 3 hours to sober up just to walk back to the hotel. Fact.
Sounds like a good do then.
Yes.
Yeah, that particular night was a good one. Yeah. Well, morning. Yeah.
Yeah. The bit of the action footage on the head cam too as well. That were good. Watching you
No, that was
wife
just
in
my
May
phone.
Towers, you went
I was just
downhill.
holding my phone. I was going.
you were-
Mate, the thing is, mate, you know that footage actually, when you're recording, when you're skiing and stuff and snowboarding, you know, in reality, going down there, I was doing about 40 mile an hour. It doesn't look like 40 mile an hour, but it does when you're there. Do you know what I mean? On the slalom. Yeah, it's good fun though. Yeah, it's good fun.
Something I've always wanted to go up, but I've never done it. I could break a leg or something.
It's brilliant. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't actually hurt myself quite bad, because I did. I'm quite good at falling off motorbikes and falling out of planes and stuff. So
out of boats as well. Yeah.
And boats. God,
With alcohol though, you don't feel the pain.
Yeah. I don't know, mine. When I fell out of that boat at 62 knots and was skipping across the surface like a Japanese pebble, I felt it.
You felt that.
Yeah.
That's like hitting concrete though, hitting water at that speed, isn't it?
Oh, honestly, it takes your wind away. Yeah. It's a good one.
Marek says he's enjoyed a couple of hours at Perfect Aquatics this afternoon, inspected a new Matsui Kahaku, and a great to win a £25. Oh, sweet. Sweet on the comp last week. That's what he got. Happy days. That means that the 500 ticket is still out there. It's like Wonka's golden ticket. Isn't it? We should call it the Crafty's last Wonka ticket.
Fucking Winky Wonky ticket, mate.
Oh, sweet, mate. Glad you did. You pick some up then, Marek? Did you get some?
No, he purchased a Matsu, one of the jumbo toes I Matsu Kahaku.
Oh, they were nice them as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones that were in when you showed us when we were there, they were in the right. Well, where the original Kaku.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
they were nice them, mate. There was some lovely fish in there.
Mm.
Jealous much? Some good ones. Yo. Cupcakes from our Vince. Good evening, mate.
Hi, Vince.
If you're saying hi to me, steak Chris T. There is a lot of Chris's, isn't there? Sorry, mate. Get you confused. I used to Portland, man, no way. That stuff, that's deadly dangerous. Have you seen them downhill races on ski tracks, on mountain bikes? They're flat out pedaling like hell. and then take a slight wobble on back end and slide for 70 meters.
I'd done downhill mountain biking in Bosnia.
Oh, wait, man, that's
hell of a hill, and you had to hold on for dear life because you come off track. There was lots of minefields all the way down it. Loads of them, and you had, but they weren't proper mountain like downhill mountain bikes, and the brakes didn't work either. So you just
That's
had to
proper extreme cycling.
I've watched it.
Stupid squaddy stuff.
I've watched a few of those on YouTube, man, going down, you know, and some of the tracks that they go down, they're like this wide. And when they're looking over edge, it's like a 70, 80 foot drop straight into rocks below it. And you're thinking, you're rattling down there at 60 mile an hour, 50 or 40 odd mile an hour, whatever. And you're not even, I'd be,
Your bum twitches a lot.
Oh, yeah, my bum would definitely be twitching. I'd be a couple of inches taller in my shorts, that is for sure. I'd be raising them because I'd be filling them. Not for me, that. I used to do it when I was a kid. I tell you what, when you're a child, I used to think nothing of flying down. There's a hill down by me. It's called Cowrakes Hill. It's a real steep hill. And I used to think nothing of sticking my bike in 18th gear and pedaling as hard as I could to get out as fast as I could. And I got pulled bit cops for doing 42 mile an hour downhill. They gave me a warning for it and said that you could get points on your license before I even got. And I was laughing at him and saying, look, no, seriously, if you come off at that speed, you can have a serious accident. And then about 10 years ago, I went up to my mates and his son had got a proper stump BMX. And I'm thinking, I might have a blast on that. And I was going down the hill where I used to live on this big steep hill. And I was going down this hill and I got up to about 10, 15 mile an hour and I started getting a little bit of a wobble on and I shit myself. I'm thinking, I can't imagine as being a kid, I'd have flat out pelted it down there and not even giving it a thought. But as you get to being an adult, you
don't see the danger when you're a kid.
Yeah. No.
This is the problem I've got. I am an adult. I'm an old adult, but I still think like a kid. So I'm still doing this stupid shit. And I'm still getting away with it. I'm bouncing off things like a rag doll, and I'm getting up and I'm going, fuck, I'm still okay.
Oh, I'm all right. I'm all right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the best bit about it, isn't it? It's when you start doing breaking some bones, and you've got to start slowing down a little bit.
Yeah. When you get past 50, everything hurts.
Well, that's only a year and a half for me, so I've still got a year and a half of extreme sports.
See, is that what it is? Is it 50 the Mark does?
Yeah, that's
and you get up every morning. I'm not saying that, though, Daz. With the work that you do, there's no wonder that you get up in the morning and everything hurts, though. You do graft every day a week, don't you?
I'm not 50, and I fucking struggle to move. It's because I'm fat, because I eat a lot. Just to put it out there before I start getting...
saying nothing. I never said nothing. We're ever going to say anything.
I'm actually down to my fighting weight now, and Crafty, I can tell you the best way to lose weight is heartbreak and cardio. Awesome.
True. Very true. Heartbreak kills you, mate. Yeah, fucks you up.
True, mate. Cardio is your best one. The heartache's probably not the best one to have to go along with it, but it's true fact, mate, isn't it? Stress as well. That's another good way to lose weight. That drops off you rather rapid.
Well, everyone's going to be losing weight now because the ambient temperatures are rising, so everyone's going to be getting flukes, aren't they?
Yeah.
So every pond keeper in the United Kingdom is going to drop some weight for sure in the next couple of months.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping that mine's clear. Nobody flashing, nobody's having any problems. Everything's looking good. I'm so far. I'm well chuffed, well happy.
Yeah, mine have been scraping clean so far, but flukes could just appear out of nowhere.
That's the sign of a good koi keeper, isn't it? If you can break through into the summer, with that ambient temperature changes, and predict what's going to happen and be one step ahead, because we all know it's going to happen. You need to be prepared for it, So if you can do that and come out the other side straight into the growing season running, you're on to a winner.
Yeah, it is 100%, mate. I'd agree with that. That's why I didn't want to kick into it. Last year was so bad for me with flukes. I didn't want to start the season off. I knew I got them. I had an inkling I didn't get rid of them completely. But winter come and everything seemed to settle down nicely. But as soon as it started to warm up that little bit, you could just see those slightly warmer days of coming home. They were just twitching here, there, and everywhere. Scrapes, yes. Flukes, right. Hit them, get in, hopefully clear them, get rid of them, and fingers crossed they stay. Gone.
Yeah.
We can hope.
Anyway, guys, I've got to apologise. I'm having a lovely couple of glasses of red tonight because I've got no work tomorrow. I'm going to do a bit on the pond. I'm going to lock down this house, ready for the 17th.
I'll join you.
Anybody want to come to Japan? There's a spare seat in the car.
Hang on, it is full fat. I'll just point that out. Not sure.
Oh, somebody's feeling slightly griefed, mate. Dad slapped him 5 seconds into it live.
Yeah.
I'm just
Sorry
having
about
an egg custard to get one ahead of Crafty. Straight in flash. Like that.
absolutely annihilated. Didn't even say hello.
Sorry, Crafton. Hello.
Now then, Claude's asked, I need to use Koi Calm for the first time. Advice, please.
Okay. Simply put your bowl of water out ready. Okay, and then get your fish in it. And then all you simply do is put a few drops in, stir it up. A few drops in, stir it up until you see your fish start just to topple, and then just leave it to go. It will go. Full time slow is very slow burner, so give it a bit of chance. Some fish will take more Koi Calm than others, so don't fucking overdo it and keep it in there for an hour because it won't come out swimming.
Yeah, ever. Well, it will come out, but it won't be moving it again. I'll tell you one thing I will say as well. The only time I've ever used Koi Calm, or what should I say, the first time I used Koi Calm was when I were at Mike's. And I put it in the bowl and I mixed it up and we dropped the fish in and I give it a quick stir around. Because you can see it, can't you? You can see it.
It's oily, yeah.
Cooking oil on water.
It made my hand tingle like mad. I got like tingly sensation all over my hand. It was weird, man. So if you don't want that
afterwards,
whether or not it's just me,
it
went like like a nettle rash.
Yeah.
All that all over my hand, but my hand tingled like
Hey,
crazy.
Crafty, I know exactly what Crafty's thinking. Did you go and perform the stranger in the bedroom about 20 minutes later?
No, we did what we needed to do with the fish, and that
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
If I might get some Koi
Maybe
Calm
wear a
now,
glove.
put my whole arm in it for an hour.
We used to do competitions with Tiger Balm in the army. We used to rub it on his bollocks and see how much you could take before you was jumping around like a fucking idiot.
Did you ever play Flaming Assholes in the army, Crafty?
Yeah, that was our instigation drink, mate.
So let me explain. Whoever hasn't been in the military, Flaming Assholes was a great, a great duel we used to make the new blokes play. So we used to get two new blokes, stand them on sort of like plastic chairs with their trousers down, pretty much naked.
Dance of the Flaming Arseholes.
Yeah. So then they used to face away from each other, so their bums were close, and we used to get like toilet paper, maybe like 3 foot of toilet paper, poke it in one ass cheek, and then poke it in the other ass cheek, and then set the middle on fire. And whoever was the last one to sort of like pat it out and jump off the chairs was the loser. Flaming Assholes.
We used to have it where they had a pint. They had to drink a pint in order to not get their arse.
Yeah. I mean, I've played it. I've been made to play it a few times, mate. I've had blisters where you don't want blisters. Trust me. You know, because like when you light it, obviously it breaks straight away and then goes boof like that, and the flames just go whoosh. Yeah, you certainly don't have to shave your gooch for a couple of minutes.
No, you won't need wax, would you?
If you're female, you're monkey.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sorry.
Maybe we should stop talking about Koi, to be honest. This is just like a man's club, isn't it?
It's a quick way for anybody that don't want to have to shave the gooch for 3 or 4 weeks. Just
I've never had to shave my gooch anymore. Trust me, my gooch looks like Simon Wester's middle finger. There's nothing growing on that again. That's good to go.
Right.
It looks like a Deutsch Karashi's peduncle.
And he's only had one glass. Wait till later.
I don't
Oh,
want
no.
energy in my head.
This episode might get me cancelled. Who knows?
There you go. Sheldon Richards, Perfect Aquatics is the perfect shop and well worth the drive from Essex. 100%.
Thank you, Sheldon.
Worth the drive from Huddersfield as well, bud. Probably about as equally as far for both of us.
It is a cracking shop, I'll be honest with you. I've been there once, and it is a nightmare for me to get there because I got to go all the way up the M4, hit the M25, and then go north. Mate, it's so in it crafty. It's a really nightmare for me, but it is worth the trip. And I'm gutted. I'm sorry, my friend, that I'm going to be in Japan on that Shiro event, but I'm still in it. But I'm going to have to pick off camera or something like that, or just trust Crafty to pick. No, I can't trust Crafty. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I'll get Alan Tate to pick for me.
He could set you up and right though, there, couldn't he?
Oh, he will. He'll stitch me
Yeah.
up. Alan will give me something with like a tri-fin or something like that. You know.
Two aiming.
Shiramuji.
Daz, have you got your list to hand?
My list. Oh my god! I don't want to bore people with that.
Sweet Acre Koi Farm. Daz, this is a question.
Yeah.
What are you planning to breed this year? And will you be doing a video on it?
Yes, we will be doing a video on it.
Hopefully, we might. We're hoping this year that we actually get some proper footage of some natural spawning as well. That's what we're hoping to do.
Yeah.
It's just we just hope that they don't go like the hour before we get there, like they did last year. Or 2 hours after we left.
Yeah.
So he has an extensive list of quite a lot, Daz. Yeah, really, to be fair. Come on, Daz. You must have it to hand.
Bloody wife's moved it. I bet she's thrown it in the bin. Hang on a minute.
That spent hours writing that out. But he has got an extensive list of all sorts of stuff that he's going to try. But he is going to try doing a lot of them by doing the hand spawning method as well. So that way, then he knows exactly. He's been doing this week. Daz has been doing koi laundry and all sorts. He's got all his little segregation nets ready so that he can have them in the pools, so that he can have whichever female is. Well, he's going to several females, but he's going to be putting different males to them to see what they produce and 1-to-1 ratio, and then he's going to set them all out in different ones, each individually marked up. So this year we know exactly. Well, this is the plan anyway. So this year we know exactly which male and which female produce what, because in the past 2 seasons ago it was a mixed spawn, so it was a free for all, and then the last season was a few selected ones that Daz wanted to try and do this time, but this time he's got quite a lot that he wants to have a go with. So he's going to be busy.
If only we could find the list.
If only we could find. Actually, Daz, didn't you post it? Did you post it? Hang about. You think you might have done, you know. Oh,
Hey, Crafty, I like those.
handicam.
I like those succotaurs that you bought, bro.
So, like what I've bought,
Those succotaurs from Niigata.
mate, they are the fucking nuts, aren't they?
Mate, they're lovely. But when I'm in Niigata next week, I'm going to try to find the same pair, but in yen, which is going to make you gutted.
I hope you do. They do some that are worth 240 quid.
Really?
I've got it
pick
now.
you up some of those. Do you want me to pick you up some of those like Japanese garden like toe ones?
No, you're all right, mate. I
Are you
don't
sure,
want any.
mate? That trust me, mate. They absolutely transfer your lovemaking skills.
Have you wore them in bed?
Well, if you think wearing socks and making love is good, when you put those ninja shoes on, there is power oozing from you
Mate,
in every extremity.
I don't want feet that look like Teenage Ninja Turtle hands, mate.
Okay, I'm just telling you, they give you secret powers in the bedroom.
I found it somewhere very safe.
I've got it. It was posted in your Daz's Koi group.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
So, right, this is, in fact, let's go through the potential spawns for this spring. Nishiki Goi show a female and Kinki Atsuri male. Yoshikigoi Showa female and Momotaro Kahaku male. Yoshikigoi Hanashisuke female with an Akamatsuba male. Hana Shisui female with a Benigoi male. Hana Shisui female with a Deutsch Sanke. Shintaro male. Hana Shisui female with a Benikikikuru Jap male. The hell. Then female Deutsch Lemon Harawake with blue Deutsch Kikikuru male. Female Lemon Harawake cross male Deutsch Shintaro Sanke. Ginrin female Sanke cross Kinki Utsuri male. Ginrin female Sanke cross Ginrin Yoshikigoi male Chag. Ginrin female Sanke crosses normal Sanke male. White Ogon female cross Yamabuki Jap male. White Ogon female Japanese Yoshiki Ginrin male Chag. Daz, we're going to be busy, mate. And that's only half of it. Then there's got White Ogon female with Akamatsuba male, White Ogon female with Japanese Platinum Butterfly male Japanese.
So, Daz.
For all those people that like butterflies, Daz is going to try to do some. Jap Kahaku and Kahaku Momotaro male, Japanese female Kahaku cross Sanki male. Black orange female Benikikikuru and Benikikyo male. Black orange female cross blue Kiko male. Black orange female Jesus Christ, Taz. We need some more ponds, mate. Female cross orange Kikikuru male. Black orange. Oh, this is kin.
Yeah.
Kin Kikikuru. Kin Kikikuru cross red and white New Forest Kiko male. Kin female Kikikuru again cross blue Kikikuru and orange female with red and white New Forest Kikikuru male.
A real nice fish, that New Forest one.
Yeah.
So
Orange
Daz,
female Kiki with that, yeah, and on it goes. There's another difference.
I think about 40.
You've got a mix between Japanese, Polish, and English koi.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you introduce a Japanese koi to a Polish koi,
It's very difficult.
There's no foreplay there.
There's a
It's
language
just
barrier.
straight sex. There's a language barrier there, which I'm worried about.
Yeah.
You know,
Straight get on
like
with it.
there's no dating
mess with
apps here. They're
A
just
small
straight in the
amount
mix.
of alcohol in the tank helps.
All right, okay, there we are.
See, that what he does is
Vodka
just
for the
introduce them to a bottle of vodka each first, and then that's it. It's all fair game then from then on in. Right.
And they got like club music playing, so like yeah.
I'm guessing that's what I'm supposed to be doing, Crafty, yeah? I'm hoping so. Am I supposed to be adding this one in? I think so. Anyway. Koi events with regards pond pests. I was shocked to find 2 slugs on the shoot of my feeder last night. Seems the slugs like Sakia carry too.
Yeah.
Slugs might be carriers of nasties. What do you think? Yes, they do carry flukes. They do have flukes, the slugs and snails. But whether or not they're transferable to fish, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think slugs and snails are just foul for any kind of creature. Do you know what I mean? I think they do carry a lot of.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know what they carry that fish can contract and stuff. But even if a dog starts licking something like that, they got to go to the vet, haven't they? So
That's
I
it.
just don't think.
Slugs, they can. It's some like heart fluke or whatever that affects dogs, isn't it? deadly.
Yeah, I don't think they're a very
Thing
try
is,
to keep those away from your pond.
we get a lot of snails in around our area, hell of a lot, and they all drop in pond from time to time. And every time they do, there's never a snail still left there. There's just an empty shell. So mine nail them if they fall in. They eat them,
Yeah.
which is probably not a good thing, but not a great deal I can do to prevent it. There's the
DK Shiro.
yeah.
Yeah, they're whizzing
One
around.
of them's got a bit of secondary Benny.
Yeah, just a bit.
I can't see.
That'll be the one I pick. You watch.
They are putting body on and size.
They are, aren't they? They're lively little buggers.
I mean, that one's, you must have got them on colour feed because that one's leaps and bounds of get in front of every rest of them, isn't it? That.
Yeah, that's in there just to break the black and white up.
What's the temperature at the moment there, Craft?
These are on 22 degrees in here.
Oh, that's why they're they're hyped. And what food are you feeding those at the moment?
Let me show you.
Sakai.
Don't disappoint us.
It's in, believe it or not, it's in a Takazumi tub. But you'll know it when you see it. Let's get under a light.
Oh, that looks like Sakai.
Floating growth. That is.
Saki.
I could do
Yeah,
with
Saki
Saki
floating growth.
balance.
Oh, balance.
No. Balance.
Yeah, Saki balance.
Balance for more conditioning.
Yeah.
Not growth. I don't. We've got.
You're feeding mine growth, though, aren't you? You're hand feeding mine growth.
And that is just the event fish food, that one. So colour and growth, they all get a different diet, all the fish. But
Gary Robson says, Coyster Dirt burnt a ring. I wonder where that would go for a minute then. Burnt a ring in my polished concrete dining table. Shit.
I'll tell you what do look good at the minute.
Hey, is one of my Sankey in there? Is that the NND stuff?
No, this is Shinoda, baby.
Oh, my name's Shinoda, baby. I breed Hiyatsuri, baby. I got yellow teeth, baby. And I got a bull, baby. That's my little rap for Shinoda, that is. Oh, looking good. Are they
They're looking real good.
Is that the one with all the doits in it, Crafter?
Yeah, they're the Deutsch ones, they are.
Yeah,
Oh, they are nice.
Yeah, some really nice ones.
Did you end up selling the
The special little kahaka.
Let's see if I can bring them forward. These are doing absolutely mental.
are these the NND?
Oh.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
yeah, they're looking good.
These are the
Yours is in there, isn't it?
ones, Lee.
Yeah, I've got one in there.
You've got one in there, haven't you?
I've got one reserved in there. Yeah.
Did Crafty not tell you he sold it last week?
He probably has, mate.
Quite surprised.
Mate, they've grown a lot, haven't they?
There they are.
mate, the bodies on them are superb, man.
Yeah.
And what's the prices of them, Crafty, for all those that are watching?
They're 195.
195.
You charged me 695 for mine.
Yeah, well, you had first pick.
Sorry.
Well, yeah.
There's Diesel the dog.
I was going to say, you've just got a dogfish. Oh, mate, he is. Oh, mate, you're friends with him now. You were terrified with him the first week you'd worked there.
He eats anybody.
Yeah. He sounded scary when we were there.
Yeah, he did. When he was far, I thought he was going to come through outside of that shed wall, man.
Yeah.
We were going for it when he went in there.
Yeah.
He wasn't happy about us being hanging around outside.
No.
Yeah, you don't want him hanging off your arm, like.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if it come to it, I don't think I want my own little cockapoo hanging off my arm if it were fair choice in the matter.
But right, I'm going back to the office. I just thought I'd get in there. That's what I thought.
It was like supermarket sweep, wasn't it?
Look what you could have had.
Grab as many fish as you can.
Good evening, bud. Thank you for joining us, Steve.
Evening.
Right then, from Wooden, we got what's all these? Where we got any? Let's have a quick flick through. There we go. WKMP. Evening all. What's the best way to keep moss? I'm going to say mossy away from around the pond. Do you want to keep it away, or do you mean the green algae type mess from around your pond?
Yeah,
Mozzies.
moss is great.
Mozzies.
I love moss.
Is it
Oh, right.
Mozzies as in?
As in the mozzies. Well,
Oh,
there isn't
mozzies.
nobody.
Yeah, mosquitoes.
Oh, mozzie.
Oh, not the mosquito again.
Yeah, the
I
mosquito.
can show you the king of the mosquito.
What,
No,
what
no,
you need to do is you need to invite Lee down to yours, and he brings out the king of mozzies, and that scares them all away, and you'll ever have
The
no
car.
trouble again.
Yeah, everything away, including your fish.
Crafty, let me make you laugh. So, you know, last time I was in Japan, Uncle Takano gave me a load of certs, didn't he? And
Yeah.
Takano pretty much, I told Takano that I was going to paint something to make it look like a Sankey, and then Photoshop it in a bowl, and then put it into a certificate as his as his cashier to put up in his office. And mate, he was obsessed with that idea. So tonight I was gonna make his dreams come true, but tomorrow, but I'm a bit worried about printing that picture off in Boots. I don't know what they're going to say, but if I don't know if I'm going to get into trouble. But
Need
like,
to make
if
it
the
like
police
that
pull
one.
me up, if the police pull me up and say, Mr. Hadfield, why have you painted your private parts to look like a fish? Maybe I can. Well, it's an innocent sort of thing that I'm doing. It's a joke for a friend. But so I've got to take him a certificate for his #1 Kushera from the Takano Koi farm. So that will be. I will show everything.
That'll be interesting.
I'll censor it out. But for the size, it's probably going to be Chibinisai. But
Is it Deutsch?
yeah.
And Dave asked us
The
to
things
show
I
you
get
some.
myself into.
I don't think he's got any of them, Dave. I think you wanted to see some Kahaku.
Ah,
But there was one. There was one in the middle of the Shuro series.
Dave has his own language.
Yeah. So basically, when you are QTing fish, there's certain stages that you go through. So one of the stages is adding what we call stress fish. So you put something that's bigger in a Nisai, and basically crank the temperature up all at the same time. So you create a massive stress event in the actual tank. The reason why you put the bigger fish in is because they would have already been exposed to sleeping sickness. And sleeping sickness is a virus that comes through, and it is really at a certain temperature it becomes really vibrant, and it will go across. So what you're trying to actually do is put them fish through that stress, hit them with a sleeping sickness if they've not already been exposed to it, because a lot of Japanese breeders already put them through put a guarantee on no sleeping sickness because they pull them through it. Not all of them do. So just through practice, you add a stress fish to every single QT pond, and then start to do the heat ramping process. So I have four bays that fell with sleeping sickness, and they get an extra 2 weeks of quarantine to put them through. So that's the reason why if you see every single one of them ponds, they've still got their stress of fish in it now. But it's a good thing that you see it and you've noticed it, because it's a practice that's done. So I get all the shit rather than you get all the shit when the problems occur, because there's nothing worse than getting a fish back home, it coming down with sleeping sickness, and then the other fish that you've got, if they've not been exposed, boom, down they go.
I got a question, but before I ask you the question, you've just reminded me by saying quick one there from Dino. People, just a quick one. Don't forget Will's koi auction for his bonsai trees on Saturday night, guys. With the topic that you just brought up, then, right? This is a strange one. I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to put it out there in case he don't want his name put into it. But let's say this person I know has got a koi, come first thing every morning, if he walks down to the garden, fish is on its side. But he's then throughout. Once he's gone down and it sees him, puts a bit of food down. They're all. It's the first one up. It's feeding perfectly fine. Spends the rest of the day swimming around continuously, even to the point of checking every half hour, 3/4 or hour or so to see if it's still active and still swimming. Getting home from work, still active, still swimming. Come first thing in the morning, laid down on the floor over on its side. What do you reckon? He's done scrapes and scrapes and scrapes, and in fact, scraping near every fish in pond, 3 scrapes per fish, nothing. Only thing he's found is a couple of dead fluke. That's it. But he had already treated for flukes because he knew he had them. But it seems to have got parasites knocked on the head. We were thinking perhaps maybe sleeping coys, but it doesn't seem to be doing what I've. And this is why I said it, because when I had it before, my fish, I had one fish that came down with it. It lost a bit of weight. It looked like you said, sunk in head. Every time it swam off, as soon as it stopped, it dropped at bottom onto its side. The minute I went down or anywhere near it, off again it went. But this is not acting like that. It's not doing anything like that at all.
It's definitely not sleeping sickness, because irrespective,
They get a bit weird swimming, don't they? Mechanically as well, don't they? They don't swim right.
They go through hell and back, the ones that come down with it. And if you ain't got heat and you ain't got salt, you ain't coming out of it. Simple as that. And if you don't treat it, their heads will sink, and basically his skull's like all mashed up.
Yeah.
So
it gets to a point where just before they kick the bucket, their eyes sink a bit and all, don't they?
Yeah, they look like they've got KHV, don't they?
They do look a bit like KHV, yeah, but without the ulceration and the
without the ulcerations, etc. Is the evil bit.
Just a sunken eye on that,
the first thing I'd be asking, do you know if it's a heated or unheated pond?
It's an unheated pond.
Right, so
that's what I thought.
In the colder months, if the pond is basically exposed to some very cold water, what you can find is, and last year I had a customer that threw all of his fish away thinking they was dead. All right. A fish can basically, the internal organs of the fish will really slow down, and then it will lay on its side and go into survivability mode. When the temperatures come back, that fish can come back okay. However, if that cold has affected the fish a little bit too much, there's a chance that it will take a longer recovery period of time, or it will not come out of it at all. And it's
do that for the rest of
internal issues. Yeah. Right. So on a basis that what you're saying is when it's left alone, it's on its side. All right. That's it just surviving. Right. When it sees activity around the pond, it's perking up and going again. All right. That again is survival, because it don't want to be seen as being a weak fish. All right. That's what they do. Right. Chances are when he comes away, it'll be back down on its side again. Right, or if the temperature.
This is a thing. He's constantly kept checking because he's got CCTV on pond, so he's constantly kept checking for the majority of this week to look and check to see if the fish is staying active, and it's active right through when you're getting home on an evening. It's still active. So it's getting to last thing at night when he comes out first, been tiptoeing down to check on it, and it's there laid over it. It's nice, that wine, actually. I had that.
It's gorgeous, mate, isn't it?
Temperature of gas is what I'll put it down to. It's not.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, so I'm cold.
We're scraping clean and everything being good that way. I said same thing. That's just how the fish that I got from Jeff Lee's when he gave me that kahaku, when it were right as rain when it had been in there for a few weeks, and those cold temps come, it dropped off, and every time it didn't fully go over on its side. It was supporting itself because it's a bigger fish. And it was staying, but it was, 3/4 over. And then that warmer period came again, and we got about 3 or 4 weeks before the real cold came, and it breezed through the rest of it. Then from that point in afterwards, it was right as rain.
It might just need a longer recovery period. What I will do is I'll look into it a little bit more. And if there's any more information that I can find on it, I'll come back. I'll come back next week with a little bit more info.
I think a lot of people have had this winter. I've had it with one of my fish.
He's perfectly okay.
to get through it, but it did. I put it to salted it in a tank on its own to 0.3.
Okay.
But it come through it, but it took probably 2 months.
Yeah, I'd say it was a fair few months, wasn't it, in there?
You know, perfectly okay for it to happen. It's not ideal for the fish, but they go through it. In the wild, they'll go through it. The problem is that sometimes if the water's not deep enough, then they're exposed to that cold water constantly through winter, especially if we're pushing that water around, right, and it's not deep enough, then you're basically chilling the pond rather than letting the pond be the pond. That's why you need a good 4 foot for koi, because the temperature at the bottom of the pond doesn't ever go back, which is why return should, a lot of the time, mid to top water. If they're in the top, you're not necessarily chilling the bottom.
Yeah. It's been fine through. That's the worst bit. It's gone through the worst of winter, and it's been right as rain.
Yeah.
But I said the same thing, because last week it was doing it, and this week it's been doing it. And I said last week we're getting temperatures where it's going up to like 12 and 13 and 14 degrees through day. Then it's dropping down to like 1 degree or
3.
For me, we've had a couple of frosts again, not this week, but last week. So it has been dropping. So that's peaks, rises, and falls, isn't it, all the time? And that's one thing they definitely don't like, isn't it?
We're in the shit period of the hobby. We're all excited for it, but if you're a fish, if you're not on a stable temperature, then the fluctuations that fish has to go through, it don't know if it's coming or going, and it's really stressful. So the immune system doesn't kick in properly. The fish starts to get warm, cold, warm, cold, warm, cold. It just can't stabilize its metabolism. It just fucks it up big time.
Yeah.
So with the big fluctuations in temperature, right? Again, it's for a fish. It doesn't know if it's ready to start eating. It doesn't know whether it's supposed to be hibernating because it happens so fast. So
yeah, Steve's saying that it sounds like swim bladder, but swim bladder don't work like that. Swim bladder does one or two things. They either become completely buoyant or they sink right to the bottom. They don't get to be at a, it wouldn't be at a float because the fish is free swimming at any depth. And if it's got swim bladder, that the fish becomes either one or two, floating at top or sinking to the bottom like a lead balloon. They can't fluctuate the bladder then and get mid-water ranges by pushing air out of one and moving into other. So, yes, a little bit, but not with what this fish is doing in particular. It won't be able to swim around all day, feeding as well as it. It's the first one up to food as well every time, every morning. Even though it's been half asleep, it's still the first one back up.
Terminator.
I'll be back. There we go. We've got right. We'll ask him when he comes back, mate. I'll just go. Dino says there. You know what wine is the best, Gaz and Lee? I like 19 Crimes.
Yeah, no, some of those are really nice. To be honest,
some nice bottle. The most expensive one's the best one. I think it tastes lovely. But that's a good one.
You know, like I like a glass of red wine. It's okay. You know, I got no work tomorrow, so. Happy days.
I like that when you have a glass. I like that. Well, I don't know if it does it with you, but with me, I like it. First glass in and fine. Second glass, I get like a warm, flushy feeling to my face. It's wicked.
It's lovely, mate.
It's starting to work.
Yeah, it's lovely, mate. You know, like sitting in front of a log fire, talking to some good friends with a glass of wine doesn't get better than that.
Can't beat it. Well, make sure.
I'm not talking about you, Daz.
I don't drink the stuff anyway.
Well done, mate. That's why you look so youthful.
What's the Pepsi?
Yeah, there we go, Crafty. Question for Anthony. What makes a good dealer? Always having a
we had this question on. We had this question on the show a couple of weeks back, didn't we?
Yeah, but I wonder who put that one in.
Hang on, shall I tell you what makes a good dealer? Because I'm not a dealer, so I'll answer it to you honestly. Because I've had good experiences. I haven't had a bad experience, but I've had good experience and better experiences. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
I haven't come across a bad one, but I think, but again, it depends who the dealer is, because sometimes genuinely they are super busy. So they can't give you all of their time. They have to, there's only 24 hours in the day. They got to look after koi, they're selling koi, they're buying koi, and then they're doing like post sales kind of stuff. So it's difficult. They haven't got a lot of time. So I think a good dealer will designate his time correctly for a little bit of post sale, a bit of pre sale. Do you agree, Crafty? It's like, yes, I've had good and bad experiences. And I think the best experiences I've had is with koi dealers that are not as busy as other dealers. But I think they generally all do try to do good and try to address things that happen after the sales, but sometimes they just haven't got enough time. And it's not because they're selfish, because they've got a life as well. They've got families as well.
No, we ain't.
So you
That's
haven't, because
job.
you haven't, because you look like a, I don't know, a dropped Tamasaba. But like other people, other people that have got some looks about them and some lives have got family. And well, no, I'm only joking, Crafty. You've got a lovely family, but yeah,
A good dealer is honest.
yeah,
A good dealer is fair. And a good dealer has got as much time as he can give to his customers.
exactly.
From your
And
perspective.
that's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
There's a load of shit knocking about what makes a good dealer and a bad dealer. To be quite honest, it's a fucking opinion of one person. That one person can't speak for every single person that's in the hobby. Okay, so yeah, there's experience. Do you have to go to Japan to be a good dealer? Absolutely not. There's some dealers that can't go to fucking Japan because they're physically unable to or medically unable to, but they can still go to Japan. If you've been to Japan once, does that make you a better dealer? No, because dealing fish is completely different to explaining or having the experience of Japan. Going to Japan is part of the experience of being a dealer, and it will give you another element of expertise, but it doesn't make you a good dealer. There's so much in the word good that it's really quite a flamboyant word, i.e. you can mold it to what you think. If you've been to Japan once, you've got more knowledge than what you had if you've never been. If you've been to Japan twice, you've got more knowledge. 3 times, but how many times does it take before you actually know Japan? Right? Does it matter if you've been 50 times? So fucking what? You've been 50 times. You're still buying koi. You may be a little bit different, but you'll find that good koi dealers will always source the best advice from the people that matter. And that is what is then passed on. Okay. Is there bad advice out there? 100%. Do we get it right every time? Absolutely not. We're human. Have we got a good idea of what goes on? Yes. Because we deal with it day in and day out. And every fish that goes out and has a bad experience, that comes back to us because that fish has had a bad experience. So therefore, the customer has a bad experience. So that means that our knowledge on them experiences grows because a good dealer should investigate that and work out what the fuck's gone wrong. A bad dealer don't give a fuck about it and literally turns around and says, not my fucking problem. See ya. That's not a good dealer. That's not a dealer that cares.
Do you know one other thing I do think, and I can say honestly that I have seen it very few times, but when I have seen it, it's made me smile. A good dealer is a dealer that will turn around and say to you, what have you got? What are you looking for? What are you after? How big is your pond? And if your pond is not ready and not suitable or the right thing will give you as much information to get you there and then sell you some fish.
Yep.
Because anybody can sell somebody fish, but it's whether or not they care about the fish that they're selling and moving on as well. And
you had an experience of that down in my shop, actually.
I did, mate. I did. And not only that, I'll tell you something else. I also got to speak with a couple that you told exactly that, because they came and spoke to me afterwards, and they turned around and said, I'm so glad we got to come down and stand and have a chat with him. And he has sent me a message since, mate, too, to say thanks and what have you, and for having a natter and a chat with him. But, you know, it's somebody that's not just out for a sale of a fish just because they can sell a fish, but absolutely cares where that fish is going and what environment it's going into, whether or not it's adequately filtered, pond size and everything else, is something else that I think a lot of dealers will obviously do, but, you know, it's good when you see it and you see it come to fruition when you're actually there to witness it firsthand.
The other thing to that, though, mate, is that, yeah, I can sell fish to loads of people that come through the door. I can sell fucking ice to Eskimos, right? You know, I am a salesman, right? But if I sell a fish to somebody that has not got an adequate setup, his experience is going to be bad, right? Now, I could look at that on a positive term, that customer's going to come back to me, and then I'm going to go, oh, if I'd have known you'd only had like 5 litres of water, right, then we need to make your pond bigger. And in order to make your pond bigger, I need to sell you this, and I need to sell you that. But what I would rather do is, rather than go down that route, which I know dealers do, all right, I don't experience. If you go to a garden centre, that is exactly the sort of information you get. All right. Me personally, I would rather him have a good experience and come back and want to buy more fish. And then I go, stop. Your filtration's not good enough. You've not got a big enough pond. All right. If you want to do that, then you want to go to your next level, then we need to talk about how much it's going to cost for you to get a bigger pond. Right. And yeah. I actually go step by step in lots of people's designs of ponds. Right. One couple, I think I've had about 8 consultations with, where I don't do the work for them. I just advise them. So they go and say, right, I've got this, this, and this. And I'll go, okay, this is how much water you got. If this is what you want to do, we need to go down this filtration. Right. Can you afford that filtration? No. Then, okay, then we need to make cut spaces. If you're going to do that pond, I promise you, if you're going down this route, I would advise to go twice as big, because you're going to do it again and again like Lee does. Right? You're going to do it again and again, and I can save you money doing this. I would go here, I would go there for material. You don't need that. You don't need that. I've got people coming in at the moment that are all buying backy showers, right? But not one of them have got a moving bed filter. Right? So it's like, this is an option and it's cheaper. Right? I would personally put in 150 litres of K1 and have a moving bed filter than what I would spend £1,000 on a shower and then another load, 500 quid on media that goes inside it, and another pump that has to then run that water through that because you're coming off a skimmer line. And I'll show them actually how much they're incorporated into that. Now, my boss is walking about in here now, and he's probably going, you fucking what? You'll stop. Honestly, it's like, it's about the koi journey for that person. So if he's got an adequate sized pond and he's up in his filtration, I would rather him have a moving bed than a trickle tower or actually a shower, because actually some people don't even realise that you can create the same thing. Depending on how much water you move, you can either have a trickle or a shower. Right, depending on how you set it up. But actually, tell you what, that box there will cost you 350 quid. Run it through here like that, get an air blower in the bottom, right? And I promise you that once it matures up will do the world of good for your water. More than what that shower will. You know, it's all about that journey. You know, the good thing for me is that I still am my own hobbyist, right? And I remember being on the opposite side of that fence and all this fucking information that come from reputable koi dealers and not so reputable koi dealers, right? That sent so much mixed messages that actually that part of the advice wasn't there. You had to do it all yourself, right? So I'm more than willing to share what I think is the best route. I'm not saying it is the right thing all the time because people have got their own mind. But for me, do it that way. Put a moving bed in and then add a shower if you really want to.
Yeah.
But what you're trying to achieve out of it is the first thing that you need to ask yourself. Oh, I want a shower because it looks. What does it do? I don't know. Why are you buying it then? Everyone else has got one. Okay.
What's the original question?
What makes a good dealer? What makes a good koi dealer?
Yeah.
Which is something, you know, Rick, you are one. So, I mean,
I mean,
I'll tell you what makes a good
there's
dealer.
no good dealer for everyone, though, is there? That's the thing. You can't have a good dealer.
Is super cheap prices and getting 4 koi for the price of 2. I'm joking.
But for some people, that's true.
Yeah, that's what they think.
Well,
that's the thing, isn't it? Because one dealer doesn't fit all. If we got a hobbyist that walks into our place that wants a fish that's going to compete grand champion level, he's come to the wrong place. So as a good dealer, I have to say, you need to go and visit somewhere else, mate. Because I can't.
You would do that, though, Rick, wouldn't you? You would do that.
Don't come to me, mate. Go to fucking Tafaguchi.
Yeah,
that's the thing, isn't
it? but a good dealer would put the customer first and send them to the person that they needed to if they can't provide the service.
There's absolutely no way that the koi dealers will do that, Gaz.
I've been doing it for years, mate.
No, but Rick, I'm on about the. If someone went into another reputable koi dealer, right, they will do everything they can to retain that customer, not push them away to someone else to make money on.
Yeah.
But if you can't supply what they're after, then you need to put them onto the dealer that can.
Okay, I personally, right, Ryan, I've pushed custom Ryan's way exclusively koi on a few occasions. If I ain't got it, I'll pick the phone up to Ryan, say, Ryan, I've got a customer looking for this. Have you got any in? Messages come to me, like them, I'll have them. Boom, gone. I don't mind offloading to people, and that's what more koi dealerships should be like. But I promise you, it don't happen. It really don't.
Crafty,
happen.
do you know why you wouldn't mind offloading to Ryan?
Go on.
Because he's a good koi dealer.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I've got a good relationship with Ryan. I've got a good relationship with Rick.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it should work both ways, shouldn't it? So you send fish to them, and that they do the same for you.
The chances are, though, Ryan would never send them my way because he's always got fucking everything.
Yeah.
You imagine
the difference.
People go to Ryan and say, "Look, I've got a new pond and I'm starting out, but I've got a very limited budget and I want to get some ghosties. I want to get something, toughy. So he's going to be, well, actually, we don't do that sort of stuff, but so and so does. Go and see them. You want to grow on some fry. You want to grow on little fish. You want to.
Yeah,
it's horses for courses, isn't it? We don't do any dry goods whatsoever. We advise people every day on ponds, but we don't sell anything. We don't do
I
dry
sell absolutely everything.
There you go. So we put people on out to other people.
Rick, can I just say, no offense, you've come on late and you look absolutely fucking gorgeous, my friend. Have you been playing football? Because you look all sweaty and up for it.
Mate, I'm just hot, mate.
Nice. You do look gorgeous.
Thank you very much.
Carry on, Rick. Carry on.
It's the teeth. I had them whitened.
Mate, I had a fill-in today. I feel like on top of the world. I know how you feel. And you look great.
There's me thinking you got your backlight on it. That's what we're giving you the shine, the glow.
Not today.
Not today. He's had his ready brack and he's had his teeth scraped and polished. He is in mint condition, like a top of the range sturgeon.
Sturgeon, all right? Grow big.
Have they got teeth? No, I don't think they have. Anyway.
Throwing us off track now, look. But yeah. So and then
anyway, let me talk about something else for 1 minute. Right. Okay. I should get paid for this, but I'm not. Right. I just want to say something that I can't wait to go to the koi shows this year. I am buzzing. The first koi show I am going to is the National Koi Show. To that end of things, I think everyone that's watching this live is into koi. And I think to better and to grow the hobby, if you're not a member of the BKKS, I think you should get on there and join the BKKS. Anyway, can I just say that?
17
Is that
quid.
okay?
£17.
Huh?
17 quid it is. I renewed my
17
membership
quid.
2 days ago.
It's £17, and then if you go to and then it's cheaper to get into the National Koi Show anyway, isn't it?
Does that mean we get 2 fish for the price of 1 then?
Oh no, but I've got something else to say actually about this. Actually, when I went to Japan in February, I bought 15 amazing Nagami Kawaku, all with certificates. I have donated 5 of the best Nagami koi to get auctioned in the National Koi Show. Okay? So to that end of things, I'm trying to like up and make the hobby more successful because it's going to make it better for everyone. So to that end of things, at least people can actually join the BKKS to make the hobby grow again in this country. I think that's kind of fair for me to say that.
I think so.
There's quite a few things on there as well. If there's koi clubs watching or people from koi clubs, you can actually book on courses that are recognised for koi, but they won't take individuals. It has to be group bookings, which is a little bit of a pain in the ass for people like me. But we've also got they've also got 1 month free membership on Rinko magazine, which is the best koi magazine in the world. Absolutely good. And there's
absolutely good.
Absolutely
That's not Japanese.
good.
That's actually English.
there's also there's lots of other little membership bonuses in there as well, such as documents on treatments, on development, and things like that. So it is worth it, and you'll only get it, but you only get to see it if you're a member. Otherwise, you get locked out of it, and quite rightly so.
But
you
guys,
don't have to
honestly,
be
like
in a club to join it.
But like I said, honestly, guys, that is our own national koi society. Realistically, if you are into the koi hobby, you should do that because everyone kind of like says, oh, they should do more, but they need more support. If you're not going to, it's 17 quid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've bought porn mags in Japan, like more expensive than that. I really haven't bought any in there, but like there probably is quite expensive ones. But mate, everyone can support these things, and you're gonna get more, out of these things. And if I can donate 5 amazing fish that come out of my own pocket to give to this organization, at least everyone can join the thing just to get like all of it. And great things are gonna come. Invest and you will receive. I promise you, because if you do invest, and from this video on, they see a subscription upload, I will get on the phone to who it matters to, and I will say, right, I've done this, now you've got to do that. So let's get there. Power to the people.
Yes, you've inspired me.
He's on it.
Part of the
This film's
movement.
gone well, isn't it?
Part of the movement.
Let's get on there. Let's get on there.
It's right though, isn't it? If everybody gets behind it, they're going to be able to do more because they're going to have more funding, aren't they? It's 100%.
Yeah, you can't sit in the shadows and take. You have to give a
Scared
little
us
bit
off now. We've
to
talked
hopefully
about money.
receive more.
You think
That's
we
just
Dad's
quickly
not a fan.
get his
He's gone. Oh,
membership.
here he is. He's
back.
he's just opened another can of Coke.
Daz just literally filled out his membership. That's it. That's how quick Daz is now on the internet.
Boom.
Done. Submitted. Same.
Put that
do think-
up quick from Alan Tate. Put it up.
National
You fucking
29th
mom.
to 39th of June.
10
Mate,
days,
I'm
10
just
days.
so
I don't know
looking
when we're going to
forward.
get the 39th from. He must be working from some sort of Martian calendar.
Guys,
Stage
I'm
thing.
so looking forward to the National Koi Show. You don't understand. I just hope we don't get those temperature swings that we did last year. But the National Koi Show is spectacular. I really do love it. And also, what I would say is, I don't know if there's any VATs left. So I ordered my VAT already, okay? And I'm really honoured to be able to show there again this year because it is an honour. And I think people don't realise their worth sometimes. There's koi ponds around this country that have got absolutely superb koi. And even if your koi are not what you deem as like show worthy, I think there's nothing wrong with you still doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like that, you know,
Yeah.
the more people that book VATs, the more people that support this organization, the bigger it's going to get. And eventually there's going to be money prizes. I am joking, but you know, we should all support it. And if you want to show your fish, you should actually, you're entitled to do it. Phone up, book a VAT. Because if they sell out of VATs this year, then they're going to have more VATs next year. If they get more subscriptions this year, it's going to be a bigger event next year. And then maybe in one of the cool tents next to Exclusively Koi, Perfect Aquatics, Tafaguchi, there'll be a strip bar or something like that.
Ooh,
so it
yes.
can only get better.
We might even hire a dwarf.
Well, I can just
Right.
take trainers to my knees and walk on them if
Well,
there's money
I
involved.
was thinking we just grab Ryan, mate. Islip.
Don't Ryan, if you're watching this, that was nothing to do with me.
But when you
What I
see
wanna know
Ryan,
is-
you will think giant dwarf,
Giant dwarf.
a giant dwarven.
Let's ask Alan now while we've got the chance and we've got this out. Which pool is it, Alan?
Oh yeah.
There's one
Look at
there,
that.
It's bottom right hand corner, dude.
bottom right hand corner. So it's going to be this one.
No, the bottom right hand corner.
What are we talking about now?
Oh, these
What's at
here?
the bottom right hand corner?
Yeah.
Oh, right. So it's one of them ones. Is that what? Is that where he's going for?
Crafty's going for a
You've got
dip.
to make sure he's got armbands on because it's deep.
Me and Crafty's.
It's over his head, isn't it?
It's not deep to us, but it's deep to him.
Vince has got his VAT booked. Sweet.
Vince,
Man.
well done, brother. Honestly. So far this year, friend-wise, we've got Vince going, who is not shown before. Okay, and he's going to do amazing because I've seen his koi. I went down there the other day, right? He's kind of crap at making tea, though. Sorry, Vince. I'm joking. It was lovely, right? We've got Phil Norton. Phil Norton came up there the other day. He picked up some bits and bobs off me, and we booked our VAT the same day. Okay, so at least that's 2 more people that I've got getting VATs. There needs to be way more people showing, especially all you YouTubers, guys.
I'm
you should
showing.
go there.
I'm
You know what I
showing.
mean?
I'm
You're showing,
in
Crafty
the
showing.
dealers show. Yeah.
What about you guys? What about you?
Oh, we're definitely 100% going, but I
Yeah.
don't think I've got fish worthy of showing.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if you think that, maybe not do it this year, but start working on your collection and everything for next year.
I just come borrow a few of yours, Lee.
Okay, no problem.
You can
But when
keep
you
the-
borrow them, there is a slight price tag attached to them.
As long
It's
as you've
okay.
owned it,
What
as long
happens
as
if
you've
I allow
owned the
you
koi
to keep
for
the
1 month,
silverware and the certificates, and I just get the credit?
you only have to
That's
own
fine.
the koi for 1 month.
I
One
would.
month.
I would. To be fair, I would. It would be something I would be interested in doing, but I honestly don't think that I've got anything outstandingly good.
Right.
I've
so
got fish that I like
but-
and I enjoy. Don't get me
let's
wrong.
wind it back. Let's wind it back.
Yeah.
So, right, you've got a show within the parameters that you can achieve in. Right. I don't mean to say that you go looking for a GC. You don't want to do that. Right. You're not competing
No.
with that. If what we do is we look at it like a Formula One race. Okay. You've got the top 2 teams competing for the win. You've got the middle section competing at the middle, and you've got the back markers that are all racing each other. Right, that's how Formula One works. You come down in size comparisons. There's no reason why you could not buy a fish from me, right, for 95 quid, 150 quid, condition it up, and still take a decent award away with you.
Crafty, that is true.
You've done it.
The first year I competed, okay, like 3 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was, I didn't have a fish. Well, the fish I done really well with were literally £95.
Yeah.
In the smaller categories, you have to cut your teeth somewhere,
Yeah.
and that's where you learn. That's it.
You
But you know
also-
what it is? If you're not in it, you can't win it. And you know, you've got to admire the man that steps into the arena. That's
So
it. Whether you win or lose, you're in the arena. So
Right,
that's
but
it. Just have a go.
you've also got to look right. So it doesn't matter how old the fish is, as well. All right. Some people think baby champion needs to be a tozai. Absolute crack of shit. You get chibi nisai. Right. You can keep that fish on colder water
Gaz?
and condition it up. Right. Condition it up, and it will still be a banging fish ready for any koi show. Right, you're only up against the people that show. Some of the big time guys, the ones that win GC and that, you will notice their vats have only got 3 or 4 fish in them.
Yeah.
Right, that's because the vats are all booked on a point system. So the bigger the fish, the more points that you actually take off the tally that you're allocated. So that means that you can take a lot more smaller fish if you wanted, but you don't have to pack the vat out. You know, there's so many variables that I don't think people are very much aware of with regards to showing, that everybody always seems to feel that they need to take a back seat and become embarrassed because their fish are not worthy of showing. Most fish are worthy of showing. It all depends just what you're up against on the day.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
And again, okay, so I got to stress this as well. Okay, so how much is it to get into the national? Like, how much is it the ticket cost for the weekend?
I think, well, it's normally around a tenner.
A tenner. Oh, okay. Okay. So to book a 2.8 meter vat is £95. Okay. So you can take a tenner off that straight away because that gives me free access for 2 days. Okay. So it's 85
20
quid.
quid, actually.
Pardon?
That's 20 because you'd have to pay 2 entry fees.
Yeah. Okay. So it's 20 quid straight away. All right. So again, what you are missing if you're not competing at the national is the magic day, which is the Friday. The Friday where everyone's still running around, setting up their little stalls, and they're putting their fish into their vats, all the exhibitors. And that is the magic day because you've got no one there, just experienced exhibitors, hobbyists, dealers, and first-time showers. And that's where you start to learn and talk to people about stuff that you can't talk about on the Saturday and the Sunday.
And
That's
you
the
get to
magic
see-
day. Trust me.
And you
It's
get to
incredible.
see the fish that everybody are paying or queuing for as soon as them doors open. You've already
Yeah,
got the
again. Yeah, again. So you got like all the dealers that have actually put their fish in the vats to sell, and you've got you've got the pleasure and you've got the honor to walk around and literally buy the best fish. That's like the equivalent of me going to Japan with Ryan and sort of like him selecting like good stuff from I don't know, wherever, Shinoda or something like that, and then me going, boom, I'll have that. You know, because I'm there. You know, yes, you're not going to get that honor because you're not in Japan, but the next one down is going to be when they go into these koi shows. So, you know, you're seeing these things before anyone else has even seen them. You know,
we will buy stock that will be solely QT'd, kept out the way, and exhibited at the shows.
So really,
I don't want to fuck all the ponds up in the shop.
as you're saying there, Lee, it's not just a case of being there at the show to partake to win. There's a lot to be gained, knowledge and experience and fun to be had within it as well.
yeah.
And I mean, I imagine when everybody's gone home on an evening as well, when you're all having a sit around and a nat and a chatter and a couple of beers as well, there's the atmosphere as well, isn't there?
You know it, mate. When you exhibit, you become. It's hard. It's difficult to say, but you feel special. You know, you feel special. You're there. You know, you're well, I kind of, I guess, in combat with everyone else, but you're there. You don't get out at a certain time. You don't start. You can get there as early as you want, and you can leave as late as you want. You can talk to who you want. You get a different kind of respect. People like look at you, and you talk to them. You meet different hobbyists, and because you're competing, they talk to you differently. It's definitely worth doing. It's a nice feeling. Being
There's a
part
reason
of the
for that.
event.
There's a reason for that, though, Lee, isn't there? Because on the Saturday and the Sunday, you get a lot of people down that walk around the vats. They don't necessarily mingle with everyone, but when you're there on the Friday, or when everything's closing down and you're behind and everybody's gone home and you're helping shut everything down, you're still surrounded by those people that then associate themselves with you. Because Lee, for example, for the last two nationals, we've gone together and we don't see each other all the way through that day, merely because everyone's pulling you to the side to talk to you. All right, but when all that's gone and it's only the select few that have shown and the dealers all come together, that's when all that knowledge gets shared about. It's not just watch your channel, do this, do that, and that's when you start finding out, and you'll know that you'll make them friendships like you would in a normal sort of setting. The other part is that if someone like yourself and Daz and Rick come over, if you've done a weekend, Lee and I get like an Airbnb, right? And then we go out, have a few beers in the evening.
We've heard about these Airbnbs.
Yeah. Can't get the same one twice, can you?
Good thing is that men can't get men pregnant.
I don't know, I've tried though. Last time,
Have a
the
good
last
try.
national, I put loads of spawning brushes out on this like double bed, and mate, I was rubbing myself up against Crafty, absolutely bollock naked. He woke up the next day, not even pregnant. I couldn't believe it.
It was great.
Not for the want of trying.
Like he
Right.
said in one of his videos, it was like a scene out of Brokeback Mountain.
I've
But
got
this
to
is what I'm
admit,
saying,
you can see the banter and the people walking around, like you guys when we've been down there. I mean, we've been on numerous occasions, haven't we? But we've gone with different groups each time when we've done it, and every time we've been, we have fully enjoyed it. I mean, I went with my son and did both days, and that was the time, Lee, when your truck broke down. We stopped down there overnight.
Lovely boy, yeah.
Yeah, and we went and we had a good wander around, and we loved it. Even both days, even though we'd seen what we'd seen, we still fully enjoyed it the next day, going back again. Daz has just booked his VAT now.
Chris, I've seen your question come in, dude.
Yeah.
Right? You don't have to disclose Polish, Japanese, Pyrenees, whatever. It's just koi. All you do is categorize your koi.
And also, Crafty, you don't have to maximize the points in the VAT. I thought that the first time I done it, I maximized. I put as many points as I could in that VAT as I could. It was just like maximized to the max. I said max quite a lot then, but that's what I meant anyway. And yeah, I came away with a few rosettes. I was really chuffed with myself, to be honest. But, the second year then, I sort of reeled it back a little bit and then still kind of maximized it, but I was a bit more selective. This time, the only thing will be things that I think is worth going. I won't max it. Mate, if I've only got two fish that I think is like conditioned and ready for it, there'll only be two going. Yeah, so it's a really great learning experience. You can tell, you can try to talk to people as much as you want to try to teach them, but you've got to learn by your mistakes, and it's just great fun. Gaz, if you don't get a VAT this year, I'm going to be upset.
No problem.
What's it cost for a VAT then? For all those
it's
that might be
95 quid
interested?
for a 2.8. It's like 85 for a 2.5, I think.
What was
I
it?
tell you what, Gaz, here we are. Gaz, here we are. If you book a 2.55 meter VAT, I will give you £85 to do it.
I thought you could say, "I'll give you a couple of fish to put in it."
I'll pay for your VAT. If you book it
Yes.
and send me the receipt, I'll pay for it for you.
Got to find some fish to go in it now.
I'm going to find some. Well, to be fair, I mean, I don't know. I've got fish that I like, and at the end of the day, I don't know enough about the conditioning and everything of them all, but I've got fish that I like.
And that's how you learn, Gaz.
And that's how you
That's it,
learn.
yeah.
Because your fish will be critiqued by
Yeah,
judges,
Mr. Tate will be handing me
experienced
now, won't he, instead
hobbyists.
of you?
Oh,
Gaz,
Alan doesn't know his ass from his elbow. But like what I'm saying, I'm joking, Alan. Hopefully he's just benching this year again after that comment.
Guys, if you got a pond, if you got a VAT, although Alan's just said there's no VATs left, they're now on reserve.
Oh, really? Okay.
But if
what a shame.
you did ever go that way, right? If you chose to do it, right, I would give you all the advice that you need, and I have got access to the best knowledge.
Only because you know me.
And
I'm literally joking, by the way.
I've got access, mate, and you know you've got Ryan in your corner
Oh,
as
look at
well.
that as
He will
well.
definitely help.
And if you're a BKKS member, you get £20 off too.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
This is almost like you two had this planned, isn't it?
We really didn't. We didn't even talk to each other today.
Oh, this is pretty good.
No, I just think, mate, it's the British Koi Society. Like, support it. You're all koi hobbyists.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, mate, you're right. 100% we are all koi hobbyists, and we sit there week in, week out talking about stuff like this. And you're probably right. It's probably something more of us should be involved with. And even if it's not for taking a win or a rosette, it's the experience and the fun and the brotherhood behind it. Awesome.
You also get you give the exposure as well, don't you? You know, because it's that's where you get the behind the scenes, so to speak.
To be fair, though, you do think the BKKS is just purely for showing, but you've highlighted it. It's way more than that.
Yeah,
mate, and it could be great. It could be great if you think about it, right? Okay, I'm not chucking these numbers out for any other reason, just to like highlight something. Okay, so like 3 weeks ago, I put a video out about my grow on pond. Okay, it's got. And I'm not doing this for any other reason, just to highlight this point. It's got 9,000 views. Okay, so if that's 9,000 people, and then most of my followers are from this country. There's a few from American stuff now and Holland, but like let's just say 6,000 of those are from the UK. They are koi hobbyists. Imagine if 6,000 people join the BKKS in the next 3 or 4 weeks. Imagine what revenue that would give that organization to sort of go, oh, now next year we can do some more stuff.
Yeah.
Do you see where I'm coming from?
yeah.
It's like makes like just join and support the koi hobby. You know?
The other thing is that
It'd be 161,910 quid in the kitty.
Boom! And I expect
a
a
lot
free
of money,
fucking
wouldn't it?
trip to Japan, Alan, if that happens. I'm joking.
But the other thing is that everybody that is in the BKKS within the board, within the judging panel, they all do it in their free time. They don't get paid for it.
No,
they
mate,
get absolutely nothing out of it.
I don't know much about it, but I know they get costs. But
no,
they're
Alan
still
does.
taking. What's that?
What judges do.
Yeah,
Because
mate,
they
it's
travel
amazing.
from
And
everywhere,
and
so
I've
they do
also
multiple
promised.
shows.
I have also promised, mate. If this, for instance, if this is my last year competing in the koi shows, I can promise you now, take a week off to help set up and break down every single show for as long as I'm in the hobby and like happy. I can't at the moment because obviously I need to take my koi to the show and take them back from the koi. But I will guarantee you that I will invest my time in the show.
Into something
I mean, to put it out there, right? Getting everything set up. The guys are there, and there's people out there that take a week off work to see it from start through to finish.
To be fair, do you know what? I would more than happily do it to be a part of it and go down to the experience as well.
So last year I went for a day, right? Because that's all I could afford to take is a day. But I went up there for the day and just cleaned some vats down, moved them about, filled them with water, got it all set up, blah blah, as much as we could in that day. Right? You're welcome. You get a free brew. You might be lucky and get a packet of crisps if I was fucking not tight enough to put his hand in his pocket. Right? But again, this is where you meet those people that just disappear into the background when the event's running. They don't take no credit. They don't run around saying I done this.
But they should get a lot more credit than what they do get, shouldn't they?
Yeah, but again, it's like it's just when they do it for the love of it, and there's a hell of a lot of stress involved. It's a big event that is run by Joe ordinary people. No one sits in an armchair banging their hand about. Alan might, right? But no, it don't get dictated. They have meeting after meeting after meeting all the way up to the event, and then the shit hits the fan when the event's there.
And also, these people, they don't take any credit for what they do realistically, and they don't. And what people don't understand is, you imagine how many vats is there? 54 vats off the top of my head, right? Imagine how much money's worth of koi are in those vats, and the responsibility that those people take. And I know for a fact that in my vat probably will be, well, I don't want to talk about numbers, but it will.
Don't want to say it.
Not that I paid that much for them, but buy cheap, grow expensive. That's my motto. Okay. Now, there's a lot of money's worth of vat, like koi in those vats, and these people are just taking it on their shoulders. There's a lot of responsibility, and they don't take any credit for it.
See, that's the reason why when you say that, there's a lot. You see those fish when you go down there, Lee, and you think, wow. I mean,
But guys, if you take 10 £100 toes eyes, there's £1,000 right there.
Yeah,
it's 10 small fish
just in one vat, and
it's just a little daunting to somebody with a little pond in the back garden that I've got in the thinking, look at my fish here.
You've got a decent enough size pond.
You've got some lovely koi, mate. People
I have got some. I have,
got.
but I don't know. I mean, is there anything that's show worthy? I don't know.
Take them and find out. And if they're not show worthy, or if there's potential there, ask one of the judges. Ask some of the staff. What do you think? Ask some of the hobbyists, and they'll have eyes on, and they'll give you information. This is the whole point of it,
Lots of varieties, right? All at different sizes.
Yeah.
Okay. You may find that one of your fish is up against 5 others in that variety, in that class, at that size.
Yeah.
Right. On the day, your fish may be the best one out of the lot of them. You get a rosette. Right. That then generates a little bit more interest because you're starting to get a bit of success. You may get a second. You may place a third. Right. All 10 fish, if you exhibited 10, may get placed. There's 10 awards that you've won. All right. It's not overly difficult to win.
It's the taking part in it. That's the true bit.
It
is the taking part. Through all forms of competition, or otherwise there would be no competition.
Exactly.
If you want the one prize that I know people that have exhibited a fish just for the sake of getting a ribbon, which is totally against what you're doing. Becco. Because it's our own class, own variety, Beccos get judged against Beccos. However, you may only get 2 or 3 people enter a Becco, but they're all different sizes. So therefore, it's cheesed. Now, there is rules being introduced that prevents that from happening now, right? But it's just a point that I'm trying to make. Just because you put a fish in, that variety is only up against the other fish in that variety. It's not up against all the fish that you see in that show.
Yeah.
So actually, you see this amount exhibited, but only this amount is what you're challenging against.
Yeah.
Chiramuji.
It would get judged.
I could take my lemon Arawaki and see if I can smash Dino's.
Oh, yeah.
And get a certificate and a rosette, and then I can say this is the best one in the world.
Well, Mr. Tate did say he'd like to see it at a show, didn't he?
Yeah, he's doing good. Still growing well.
Yeah.
Here you go. Size 1. 15 cm is not big enough yet, is it?
Oh yeah, it's 20 cm now.
Oh, look. It'd be too big for size 1 at the
It's
way
going
it's
to get
going.
too big in it to fall on. It's doing well. It's grown pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's floating by.
That's a nice picture, that.
Yes.
Yeah. So I got sent this by a good friend. I don't want to say any names because he might be, I don't know, hermaphrodite. But
You'll get them on the day anyway.
yeah, it's nice. Whose koi is that? Does anybody know whose koi that is?
Alan Tate to tell you.
Yeah, tell us, Alan. Whose
Alan,
koi have you
who's the owner of
used?
that fish? Or who's the breeder of that fish? There's no
And
doubt.
next year, I want my koi on the poster, even if it's like a 15 cm tozai. Yeah. So yeah, okay. So let's go through some information about the 2024 koi show. Okay, so the 44th National Koi Show at the heart of koi keeping. So prices are administration. To get in, it's 12 quid.
12
If
quid.
you're
Commission
16 or under,
That to me is a bargain for what you have down
Yeah.
there. Per se. I think it's
if you're 16 or under and you look 16, so Daz, you're
Yeah,
all
Daz
right.
gets-
Just
yeah,
put a
Daz
cap
gets
on
in
so no one
free,
can see
yeah.
right here.
Cap on backwards.
Right.
Yeah.
he just puts his
And then BKKS members, a tenner. That's a bargain.
Yeah.
Weekend 20, yeah. But you've got to come, mate. It's right in the middle of the UK, so everyone's got like kind of like the same kind of mate. It takes me 4.5 hours to get there, so if I can do it, everyone can.
Yeah, and it takes me 20 minutes.
Which one's that? Is that to Newark?
Newark.
Oh yeah, Newark's only
Coventry,
about an hour and 10 for me, so it's not a bad run to be fair. And it's banging down there. You even
Oh,
sneaked
can I-
into the other festival last time, didn't you?
Yes.
What's that? The
Yeah.
festival?
The Heavy Metal Festival was
Yeah,
it?
you remember there was
No. That was in the Great British. That was up in Coventry.
Yeah, Newark.
Newark. Are we talking about Newark now? Yeah.
No, we're talking about the Cov one, mate.
Oh, Coventry, right. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, in the Newark
yeah,
one, me and Crafty infiltrated a. Yeah. Crafty, can you remember that? Can you remember that really weird young woman that looked like she was like a bit strange? I couldn't keep her eyes off me. She was like that. I was like, oh my god. She was so scary. She looks like she had sleeping disease.
Everywhere we went, she was stood there, wasn't she? Just-
Yeah, she kept following us. I was like, oh my
You
god,
got,
I'm gonna get
like,
I'm gonna
Harry.
get spawned on right now.
There we go.
What's that? They've just put there. I would say the hardest part is getting everything ready and being ready for the show, the build-up, etc., and the transport.
Yeah.
I think the conditioning is the thing more than anything, because I mean, I saw Lee's fish, and when we were down there last time, and I were going around filming the vats, and I got, like I said before, like I got the chance of listening in as Mr. Tate were giving Lee some advice, and I was looking at his fish and thinking, some nice fish in there, and then Alan just laid it out straight. Not ready.
Yeah,
then.
he said they're all shit, mate. They look like frog spawn.
They're not ready. He needed more conditioning on that one. That's what this one's been in a little bit too. It weren't no harsh comments, were it, or anything, but he told you straight
Constructive.
what it was, didn't it? It was constructive, yeah. Which was a bit.
Yeah, but sometimes you got to swallow a fucking conker, haven't you? It is what it is.
Mate, you've got to be told. You've got to be told. And if you can't take criticism, it's no point doing anything in life, is it?
That's the only way you're going to learn, though, isn't it?
You can't
Another
learn
chocolate bar does.
if you can't take criticism. There's no point doing anything in life.
Well, there we go. That's a lot of topics and a lot of talk of these last couple of weeks about shows. How about we just gate crash your event and come down? Me and Dad stop there weekend with you.
Do it. Do it.
You've got a big converted van now, Lee. You might be able to get 2 people pregnant.
What were you on about the DK like lineage one?
Any of them. You're going to them all, aren't you?
No,
What
well,
do
I'm
you
going to
get
be in Japan
Airbnb?
when that's on. I'm going to Japan like next week.
Airbnb at the National. Is Steve Coipy Blinders coming?
Yeah, probably. Well, do you know what? Right. If some of you guys actually want to come down to the National for the weekend, from Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday, we go home. Yeah, so Friday night and Saturday night. If people actually that I know want to sort of like hang out, we'll just sort of like all chip in for a huge Airbnb, kind of like a.
We were
Yeah.
intending to come in and craft his event and having a wander and a nose around on there.
Oh yeah, no. So they're on about the DK Line Shiro event.
Any events, he said.
Any of them.
Oh right, yeah. Well, I'm going to be in Japan for one of them anyway, so that's unfortunate because I'm a bit gutted about that because I didn't want to go to Japan really.
Liar.
Ah, I'm
You're
joking.
So who's
But
picking
hey,
your
let
fish,
me
Lee?
just tell you about my next trip to Japan, guys. So we're going on the 17th, which is about 7. Is it about 7 or 8 days, something like that? And we are going to have about. So the footage is going to be about 4 or 5 days in Nagaoka. Okay, kicking around like the normal sort of like backyard, and then we've got the Wakago. I think it's the Wakago. We got like some sort of competition there, like a show, which is going to be amazing because I've never actually been in a koi show in Japan before. I have. I'm lying. I have like a small sort of like hobbyist version. Do you know what I mean? And then wow, we're going down south. So we've got a day in Naritas, we've got a day in Sakai, we've got a day in Omosako, we've got like a day in probably Momotaro. Maybe I would like to go to Sakai Ko. We'll see what goes on there. But yeah, it's split between north and south this time. So I've never been south. But what we're also going to go is we're going to go to see Hiroshima. I've got to go and do a bit of military history as
Ground
well. So
zero,
it's going to
right?
be a bit of everything, bit of food, bit of koi, bit of history, and this time it is not going to be any eating challenges. But I've told Ryan we're going to be doing koi fitness.
Koi fit.
Oh yes, just wait.
Just
I've got a plan.
Ryan sends his apologies. He's not feeling well tonight, so he's
It's
not
all right, mate.
making an
Not a
appearance.
problem.
And he
That's
called
all
me an
right.
horrible little see you next Tuesday.
Why?
I called him a
Called him a giant dwarf.
We have got a few questions anyway, so we can slip into a few of them while we've got everybody on here. Sheldon Richards has asked, are parasites getting resistant to treatments? I know we've probably had this and touched on this before.
Luke's
but
definitely.
I would say 100% they are. And not only that, parasites most definitely can become resistant to forms of treatment and such.
Yeah, that's natural selection, though, isn't it? That happens in everything.
So same as it is for us with, like, I mean, there was also Paula also put in a very similar question as well.
The same with germs and bacteria.
That's it. Yeah, antibiotics are being dished out less now because for that exact reason.
It's the same as spermicidal lube. I don't trust that anymore.
Just doesn't work.
Definitely
They just don't work.
The problem is we haven't got any choice of treatments, have we, anymore?
No.
They used to be able to use treatments that worked. You'd use them once, they worked. Then they take those treatments, they ban them for one reason or another, until you've got such a limited amount of treatments that you can use. That's all everyone uses, and that's where the problem starts to lie, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all weak ass stuff that don't bloody work.
Well, yeah.
I've been doing a little bit of looking into treatments, etc., and I've come across a study that had been done with resistance on fluke, believe it or not. A certain amount of tests were carried out, And one thing that happened was that fluke can become resistant a lot more than any of the other parasites that we see. And recently we've seen quite a resistant strain coming across from Japan, etc. And those people may have seen them. They look fucking ginormous in comparison on slides, etc.
Yeah.
Now, when these people that done the experiments, they done dosaging as per packet instructions, and they found that a lot of the time the dose was too weak in order to treat it.
All the fluke could just sat there like this and bring it on.
They would see that some fluke die. A lot of fluke are a little bit sort of wounded, but there's still very active fluke in there. So it shows there that the dosage is not strong enough to hit everything.
Yeah.
So they then conducted an experiment where they also turned the UV off. They found that the dosage on there with the UV off was stronger. They've done another experiment where they actually bypassed everything, i.e. all filtration, and they put the fluke treatment in and had better results. Final one they done was they literally filled a pond with water that hadn't been sort of put through anything. It was just fresh water. Put the fish in from the pond that had fluke straight into that pond, treated it with a dose that was recommended, and every single on the first treatment, every single one of them fish showed huge amounts of dead fluke, with some that was still active, which is where the second dose comes in. Okay, their results were that filtration is so good in today's filtration systems that actually a lot of the dose that you're putting in is getting trapped in that filtration. So therefore, you are not able to fully treat your fish with like fluke M or whatever, on a basis that a lot of it gets locked out in the filtration.
Pulling it out.
Did they test it against Israeli flukes though?
Well, this is a question. The fact that they've gone through all of these step-by-step sort of experiments, and the fact that they got the dosage in correct in a fresh pond, and they got the results that they wanted, indicates actually when you put in the size of your pond, when you take into consideration your filters, when you look at how many bends you're going through within your pipe work, where all of this treatment can potentially get pulled out of the water and therefore not get to the target, your dose is always going to be substandard to what it is that you think you're doing, especially if you don't dose to the right amount anyway.
Yeah.
If you go in, this is an infested fish into a pond of water that is dosed at exactly the same rate as the others and getting results after you take everything else away, then it's clear to me that it's there for a reason. But are the companies that test this, are they actually testing it in the right environments, or are they testing it in exactly what I've just said?
Yeah.
The problem is, further on in the report that I read, the problem is because the underdosing takes place, the parasite then becomes more immune to it because you're not hitting it. So there's an immunity start to build at that point. So, again, it doesn't help anyone, but what it does show is that you can take dosing with a pinch of salt, but it's very easy to overdose and kill your fish. So it's a very tricky place. So you've got to do something, but maybe you've just got to rethink how you're doing things. Unfortunately, because they're microscopic, they do live in your filters and they do sit in these bends. And if you've got a bottom drain and don't purge, you've still got that debris that sits in your bottom drain that you don't see that is a manifest
Bless you.
or something like that. So
Bless you.
there's lots more to take into account
Bless
other
you.
than resistance.
Looks like Rick's got some parasites.
Although you
Nose
think that
fluke.
although you think that the chemical gets to every little part in your filtration and such, if you've got
It don't, does it?
a layer of sludge, no, and there's parasites at the bottom or under that sludge, it will not get to them.
No, and that's it. You know, there's so much to take into account. It's not just right. That's what I'm doing. I'm not getting the results. You know, that information I thought was not something that I've got special access to. That's because I've spent the time to look into it, and you come across very reputable reports that are put into place in governing bodies, etc. They're available. You've got to be a little bit lucky, but if you bide your time, you'll find them. You know, and I had conversations with somebody else on this. I'm not going to say a name in case I don't want me to say who it was that I was speaking to, right? But there was, when the Nexus first came out, there was people in the country that were having massive problems with certain things, and actually Nexus caused quite a bit of issue with treatments, and it had to be redesigned in order to make sure that things are working properly. You know, and people were losing fish as a result of what the Nexus was actually achieving. So, you know, the evolving in what the companies do, they do look at things and they do put things in place, but the chemical companies, do they fuck?
Don't they? They've got to give you one dose fits all.
Yeah,
If you look at farming sheep, you can buy 20 different fluke products, and they'll have data sheets. Use this product at this time of year. Use this product as your dip here. If you find that the flukes are, resistant to benzocaine or whatever it is, use this one. It's got cholesterol. It's got all these, and it's literally scientifically worked out. And yet you come to ponds, it's like pour 100 mils of that in.
Yeah, that's right.
Done. And it's like, well, really? Done work.
Yeah.
But they got how it's difficult, isn't it? It's yeah, it is a pain.
You know, but as soon as you give the wrong advice and all your fish belly up,
And then
You
somebody
know,
wants to come back, point your finger.
yeah, you then become that target for, he gives shit advice. No. And this is where it comes back to like the PP and you've got to be prepared to step it up a little bit from time to time and work it. Find out what works best for you. There's a pack what it says on the tin, but it's not verbatim.
That's difficult though, because I've had like literally 5 minutes before I came on here. He might be watching now, but I've had someone ask me how to do a PP treatment. I have about 12 people every week, I reckon, asking me, and I always go, dude, I am no koi doctor, trust me. I said, I could tell you what I do. I said, but,
Don't
on
do
it, be it. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is, like,
But that person ponds differently, eh?
This is what I say to him. I said, listen, my pond is this big. It's got this much air. It's got this makeup of water. I've got this many koi. I feed this. It's this time of year. I said, this is what I do. I said, but it's so difficult.
It's not an exact science, is it, PP?
It's not, mate. It's guesstimation. It's like educated guessing. That's all it is. It's like sniping, mate. I was a British Army sniper, and every single shot I took in a different altitude, in a different elevation, in a different theatre of war, every
Different
shot
air
that
pressure.
I pulled is all different, and you only learn that from tens of thousands of shots in different ranges, in different parts of the country and the world. It's educated knowledge. It's educated guessing. That's all it is. It's like, it's difficult to say, but I feel bad for people because people send me videos of their fish suffering, and I'm kind of confident if I was there and I tested their makeup of their water and I seen their setup that I could probably give them really good information that wouldn't be on the back of a packet. But you really can't, because you don't know how diligent that person is, if they actually do know the calculation of their water. Do you know what I mean? It's hard, and you've got to hold back sometimes. You got to go, well,
Because you've got that opposite bit. Then if you do tell them and it does happen and they belly up and everything goes wrong, the guilt that you're going to feel for that. You're going to feel
it's hard. It's really hard. I love to help people, mate, and that's all I would do, mate. If I was a millionaire, I would just help people.
Yeah.
But it's hard unless you're there. You need to see their environment and their makeup, because what Crafty's saying is exactly the same. What's their filtration like? You haven't got a clue, mate. Every pond is custom made. Not every pond is an EZ pond with exactly the same makeup, so you can't really give anyone advice. But anyway, guys, this topic's boring me now. Have you got any koi appreciation?
We have got some koi appreciation. We've got a few people that sent stuff in as well.
What will we do with the koi appreciation?
There's one thing I will touch on though before we just change the subject, and it is the type of treatment and using the types of treatment such as PP. You've got to remember that long-term exposure of PP for your fish isn't something that's necessarily a good thing. It does take up to 6 weeks for the mucus layer to regenerate and to get back all those properties that it's there to do for. So continuous use of it, again, can damage your fish too. And the only reason why I say this...
It can damage the gill as well.
Also damage the gills as well. There is, if anybody's interested or would like any form of a copy of it, there is a little section from Lincolnshire Fish Health about a treatments that they've done use of potassium. So if anybody's interested and everybody wants to have it, I mean, there's a lot here. It was sent to me about talking about the topic and about whether or not, some people are seeing negative effects and the fish end up, getting damage to them. Now, I would say this much, right? If you go to the hospital with a broken arm and you have an x-ray, you get stuck behind that machine and everybody else that's in there steps out of the room. And that's because long exposure or lots of exposure to x-ray is not good for the human body. But having one every now and again ain't all that much of a bad thing. Now, if PP is used in exactly the same kind of way, then it's never going to be an issue, never be a problem. It shouldn't really do any serious long-term damage to your fish, providing you're giving them chance and time to recuperate and build up those mucus layers back onto the fish's body again.
Fuck me, Alan Granson's joined us.
It's very interesting. If anybody would like to join, anybody would like to actually bring up the topic and have a matter and a read of it. Good evening.
You stood in a hole.
Evening, Alan.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Alan.
Good evening, Alan.
It's that hat, isn't it?
Guys.
We have got a couple. I think that's pretty much because Chris's question was pretty much the same sort of thing, other than the slight differences. Do you think we don't allow as koi time to build up their own immune system before we go quickly throwing chemicals in?
Some people, but if your koi are dying because they're covered in trikes or whatever, you
that's what I mean. It's either you do nothing because they're all right, or you got to do something because shit's going to hit fan. There's never really anything in middle where you think, should I just wang it in anyway? You've got to treat. If you've got to treat, you treat, don't you? That's it.
Yeah.
You're going to change the light bulb there.
I even had one comment that was sent
Alan,
through
for
to
God's sake, don't get your chibi Nissai out.
I even had one comment that was sent through to me that all these treatments, these chemicals that we use, we're all brainwashed. What you should do is just leave your fish alone, get your pond set up running right, keep your nets out and leave them be. I've not lost no fish in 10 years, which I call bullshit on. Because
I don't.
No.
Yeah,
nobody can go through 10 years of fish keeping without coming up against something. I'm not saying losing fish. If you're doing it and you're doing it and looking after your fish right, then, hopefully, fingers crossed, a lot of people go through that.
Right, you've got to look at, all right, if your pond is untouched, you create no stress events, and you're keeping your filters clean, all right, your fish will have parasites, shit bust. Whether they're an outbreak of parasites that's causing issues is another thing.
Yeah.
Generally, so this is like if somebody buys fish off me once a week, all bloody week, like every week of the year, right? That pond will never settle ever, and you'll constantly put stress events in, which means that your parasites are going to have a field day because of the stress that the fish are coming under. Right? If you've not introduced a fish into a pond for 5 years, you may not have any problems. As soon as you put a fish in there, then it changes everything.
So you change the whole environment, don't you?
Yeah.
You bring in that one fish becomes the new stress event.
100%. So if you're not creating a stress event, that means that them fish have got a stable environment, and quite often, if you're keeping on top of your filter cleans, there's nothing that you need to worry about. I hear this thing like bird shit in water and stuff like that creates, but what a load of shit. It's bullshit.
Hello, Crafty. Your new Amazon parcel will arrive tomorrow. Pocket pussy from extremesex.com.
You got to be on the other side of it though, Crafty. Is that most people that have kept fish in 10 years, most of those people have bought some fish, and some of those people will have had them die the following morning after putting them in from that stress event of being taken from A to B. I mean, that's some, especially.
But you've also got to remember, these people are like Al, right, and 140, right? They haven't put new fish in their pond for 10 years, but they put fish in their pond for 10 years prior to that, losing them loads.
Yeah.
Al ain't got a pond, he's got a chuffing lake. I've seen it. It's massive.
That's a good point.
It's a big pond if you've got to have a jet ski to go around it to feed them.
Feed them on the quad, yeah.
Right then.
Al, have you just come on because I said Ryan's not coming on?
No, I was wanting the little bastard at the end,
I got this fish that we've got. Lee's sent us in a few bits and bats as well, but I have got this, and I think this is quite.
You better not have done what I said you should.
Yeah, I have, mate. Yeah, I've got no secrets, pal.
No secrets.
Crafty's like that. Oh, keep your fish secret. No, I want to inspire people.
Well, this one, first of all, I think some people thought that we were going to do the Shuro as being his first fish for koi appreciation, which we was, but I didn't want people disturbing the ponds. But I've had 2 sent in, so we might as well show them. And that for a 10 quid fish that was bought at 7 cm, it's now 40 plus, is quite a nice fish for a £10 investment.
Do we know the breeder?
Might do, mate. If I minimise that, it might say.
Lee, if you're watching, let us know the breeder. Is it the one at the bottom?
That's not my fish, bro.
No, this is not Lee's. This is Lee Wright's fish. It was 8 cm when he got it. It's now around 40 cm. Not bad for a £10 fish. Which, to be fair,
I agree.
Bloody good.
I agree.
It's a pretty good fish for 10 quid.
Yeah.
Really nice tape measure too. But that's a very nice fish for £10. That
not even finished, is it?
No,
it wasn't. It's not £10 now, though, is it? That's the thing.
Nope.
Oh, no.
Buy them cheap.
A little fish.
Buy them cheap. Grow them expensive.
But yeah,
well
can't go wrong with that.
I think what we'll do, whilst we've got everybody on and everybody's watching now, buy in any fish that you want, send in me koi appreciation for next week. Any fish you want, your favourite fish, your favourite sturgeon, whatever it might be, whichever is your favourite fish in your pond or favourite fishes in your pond. Or favourite fish, not fishes.
And we're not talking about mollies or neon tetras.
Damn it.
Oh, Tamusabbas.
No.
Tamusabbas
There's
is
no
fine.
wrong with them, Alex.
Tamusabba, throw it in as well.
Yeah, 100%. I want to see your
Just
Tamusabbas. And then we've got this one from Rick Howarth. 53 cm Omasaka female. This is nice. This is well nice. Look at that.
That's lovely, yeah.
That is
nice.
mint.
That is very nice.
Yeah, that's very nice. Yeah.
Alan, can you tell?
Now
Just by
that's a
looking,
fish worthy going to show with.
can you tell just by looking roughly if it is a Masako or wherever it's come from?
Yeah, 100%.
That previous fish, where do you reckon that one was from?
I suspect it's from Ogata.
Right. Cool. Because there's not
That's
that many Shiro breeders out there, is there?
Now that's pretty mint, isn't it? When you can look at a fish and say where it's come from.
Yeah, that's a
that
very
mate-
nice Shiro.
Would
That
you
is
say
beautiful.
Akawa or Ogata?
Ogata.
It's fucking Geordie accent, man.
Hey, Crafty, this is a family show. Can you stop cursing?
Yeah, stop it swearing.
Yeah, and stop
Sorry.
ordering your sex toys online too while you're on show.
Yeah, exactly. You've been dropped right in the shit now with your pocket pussy.
But yeah, two very nice fish there. Oh, play again.
Yeah, both nice fish.
Yeah.
Camera skills are shit, though.
Sorry?
Camera skills are shit, though, aren't they?
Well,
That
he's
can be
just in a
learned.
bit too close, and it could have come out a little bit, but
No,
I don't know,
that can
just-
be learned. He just needs to watch Evo a bit longer.
No, he's doing better than Evo, mate.
I don't know. Some of Evo's videos, when I watched them up a week ago, watching them, I'm thinking, and he was saying like, they're just a quick fly in here, and just going to fly into here, and just going to fly in the camera all over the place. And I'm like, wow, we're having a right wrestle with it.
It's because Evo's from Holland, so he has space cakes constantly.
So thank you very much, guys, for sending them in. Next week, if anybody else wants to send them in, if anybody would like to join the obviously Gaz's Koi Pond Facebook group, it's far easier for you to post them in there with the link that I put in. If anybody's got any questions or anything you want to post, then I can share them straight from here. We'll go now with Mr. Hadfield's, which these are some little beauties.
Take your banner off the bottom, Gaz, please.
Take the what?
Take your rolling banner off the bottom, dude, please, if you can.
The rolling banner.
So I sent this one to Alan Tate earlier on. I don't know if you got it, Alan.
Yeah, I've just looked at it 5 minutes ago.
So that's the fish that I got off the side of the road from Sakazumi as Chibanissai. It's 23 cm at the moment,
Welcome
but the
to
volume of
DKP
it
Live.
is good. The volume of it for a 23 cm, like, you know, koi, I think is
It does look a
not
lot bigger
too
than
bad.
that.
It's your baby champion effort.
Well, we'll hopefully if it stays in size, I'll put it in for it. But you know, whether it does what I hope it does is two different things, isn't it? You can always dream.
The welcome to GKP Live banner, Gaz, that's scrolling across the bottom.
Oh, sorry. Right. Now I'll get you.
That's better. I can see his mud now. Fuck is ugly.
Isn't this
Well,
cheating getting the judge to look at the fish already?
No, he just benches stuff now. He's too old for judging.
Oh, there he
There he
is,
is,
Mr. Tate, in the shed.
What's going on there?
Look at that.
Once. Dibs.
So that was young champion at Newark last year, but now it's about 62 cm there.
Like it.
I wanna
So you're
dibs
giving that
that.
away to a free one of your subscribers,
That's-
is it?
That's
Yeah,
the one.
yeah.
That's the
For-
one he's
for-
going to
for
put in
every-
my
for-
back for me.
So for every 15th person that joins the BKKS this year gets a chance to win that next year.
Very nice.
What
Where's it
development have you seen on that, Lee?
Pardon?
What development have you seen on it?
Oh, okay. So that's NND. So that was a fish that I bought off Ricky for the mud pond challenge for £495,
I remember that, yeah.
and it was 21 cm. Okay, so it was okay. So yeah, okay. So I did pull some. Okay, so I did get the number one Tozai on that event. Yes. It went in number 1 and it came out of the mud pond number 1 as well. And it's done particularly quite well on the growth. It's female. It competed in the national last year where it had a first in size and class, but it didn't have a major. Alan said it was a nice fish, but it needed volume. So I got rid of a load of fish in my pond and then entered it into the Newark the Newark Koi Show with a lot more volume, and it won young champion there. So this is the reason why you should enter these competitions, to get these people's advice, because they need to see your fish in person. So this is a great example of someone who knows what they're talking about, giving me some form of advice, me taking it on board, and doing what they're telling me to do, and yeah, it worked out really well. So, but since last year, it's put on a load more volume. It's not a great. I don't think it's going to be a great size for the national next year, because at the moment, I think there it is 64 cm. So we'll see what kind of growth I'm going to get for the category, but it's not a great size. For Newark next year, it might be. For the Newark this year, it might be quite good, but we will see. But the volume wise, I'm really happy with. But
is that Sansai now?
So that is a Sansai now, I believe. Yeah. No, just coming up to Sansai, possibly. It depends when it gets spawned.
Season.
Yeah, it depends when it gets spawned. So it will be Sansai at some point this season, but at the moment, possibly Nisai still.
What about the Sumi development on it, Lee?
The Sumi development on this particular koi has always been really strong. It really hasn't changed that much. It was strong as a Tozai. It's been strong as a Nisai. The Benny, you can see the Saroji is really great on it. But when I've gone to Japan this year and a half or whatever, I've seen great things with their Sankey. Like NND Sankey is really something to boast about. Really, it's really a great lineage. Not quite sure 100% what their lineage is, but whatever they're doing, they're definitely doing it well.
Alan, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If I don't pronounce this exactly, the Tajime, is that right? In the pecs on the Sankey? Is it right that the Japanese would like to see that have odd numbers in the pecs?
Yeah.
i.e. a 1 and a 3, not a 2 and a 0? Or would that kind of thing then give that? Let's say that was up against another fish, but it was perfect, and that one had an odd and a 1 and a 3 in the pecs against Lee's 2. Would that be something that you would mark that down on then? Or would that not bother? Would that not come into the detail over here?
No, I wouldn't come into the detail over here. The one area on this fish that still isn't correct is the Sumi in the middle of the fish.
Mm-hmm.
This
Japanese term for that would be kati maru.
Would that be this area there?
No, further back
on the dorsal, beyond
just
on the
the dorsal.
There.
Yeah. So that needs to come together yet to make this an outstanding fish.
Sorry, Lee, I weren't pulling faults, mate. I just wanted
No, but this is a thing for people to learn. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping when I pull the temperature back for this fish to be conditioned. So at the moment now, I'm at 24 degrees and I'm slamming in food. So I'm just thinking about growth, as in volume, and not so much length, but volume. When I start pulling the temperature back, I'm hoping that Sumi is going to come to the surface and accumulate and become strong. So that's one of those things you can't predict. It's a living organism, so it's going to do what it's going to do. But I suppose as a human, as someone who's controlling its environment, can try to get these things to hit its zenith at the right time.
Conditioning phase, isn't it?
It's the conditioning phase. At the moment, that fish is not being conditioned. That fish is just being slammed with food.
But
Yeah.
you know,
Done
also
some
think
growing, mate, though, hasn't it? Done some,
that
put
fish
some
might
size
not be
on.
its best for a few years. It could be Yonsei beyond before that sumi comes up properly. Regardless,
100%.
bit of patience.
You've got to be patient with fish. That fish would show in this country fine. You wouldn't put it in the old Japan because it's not ready. That one area would knock that fish right out. Over here, that's different because not all fish are perfect over here.
If you ever need it looking after till such time as it's rightly.
Yeah, no problem.
That's beautiful, mate.
Let's go on to the next one.
Let's see Lee's fish tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a few, mate. It's a learning thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is a fish last February, not this February, but last February I acquired from Yoshino. So this fish last February was about, I don't know, between 15 and 18 cm. Now that fish is 54 cm. Or, yeah, 54 cm. But when I acquired that fish, it had no sumi at all. All I could see was the Saroji quality, the Benny quality. Well, the Benny was quite soft on it, but I really liked the 45-degree cut-in Benny. So it looks like a three-step, but the whole Benny for me was really visually exciting because it was all cut in through the koi at a 45-degree, and then the sumi. Yeah, the sumi I could see that was down. It was really deep. Was also like sumi, so it's like well placed sumi on the Saroji, and I seen something like special in it, and I said to Ryan because he was making up like a box to take back to the UK, and when I seen that one when I was filming, I was like Ryan, I said I'll have that one off you. I said don't even advertise that one. I said I'll have that one off you, and yeah, it's come good. So I didn't show because Newark was really close to the Southeast Koi Show. I couldn't actually show in the Southeast Koi Show because I was within like the time refrain for like the well-being of the koi. So I actually showed Ryan a video of that fish at like the week of the koi show, and the sumi was right up on it. The Benny was really strong. The Saroji was sublime. The body was nice on it, and it was about 34 cm. And I showed him that, and he goes, "Pal," he goes, "Gutted." He goes, "That would have won baby champion over what did win, in his opinion."
Yeah.
So I admire his opinion. He kind of knows what he's looking for. So the love is in the eye of the beholder. But yeah, so that's the kind of quality of that fish, and I do still rate that fish because the sumi and the quality is still quite good. But I'd like to see what Alan thinks of that fish.
I think this fish is easier to read than the last fish actually for growth potential. This fish will get bigger than the other one easily, and it will get really good volume. The head's broad, nice long head on it, broad mouth. The structure of the body is good. Everything's good about this fish, Lee.
It should be. It's eating 2.5 grand of Sakai Akari.
Does the head colour?
You've got to understand as well, guys. That fish probably cost me, well, 50 quid.
Really? Wow. And
Yeah.
from 18 cm, did you say, to 54 cm?
Yeah. So okay. So I'm not an expert, but I know when Ryan was in Japan and we were picking these koi, I was like, "How much are they, mate?" And he goes, "Not that much." They were like the mid. Well, so Yoshino had different quality fish. So when I went to Japan the last time, I selected a box of Tozai from Ashino that was a lot more expensive than this. Okay. So this was in like their mid kind of quality range, but I just seen something aesthetically pleasing in my eye. Now, I don't know why, maybe it's because I'm an artist, I don't know, but when I seen that in the bowl,
The
it
stripes
just
going
appealed to
through
me,
it.
and I could see everything that possibly it could be. And yeah, it's turned into that. But I don't think that fish cost me a lot at all. In between 100, maybe it was maybe it was £100 by the time I've paid VAT and shipping and all that kind of stuff. But that's all that was.
But that's a beautiful fish for that kind of price, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't like to think how much someone would probably charge for that now with a certificate and at that size. I don't know.
What size is it?
54 cm, I think they're now.
54 cm, yeah.
With the penny on the head, Alan, being that's darker than the body, is that show-wise pull it back? Because I mean that would all come together, but it's still another year or two away, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit away from being a really good high quality showfish. The belly on the head and the body should be the same colour, but it's always going to be deeper on the head when they're young because there's no scales there.
Ah, right, yeah. So you've got the head plate skin is thinner than what you've got towards further down the body, which then takes more time to develop and come up through as strong a sumi on it.
Yeah,
or belly plate, should have said.
The belly plate is very soft.
It's just a slight soft difference, isn't there?
Yeah.
That skin's stretching over bone on a younger fish, see. It's not, so it's...
Come on, guys, what's next? I'm excited. I don't even know what's coming next.
The next one.
Oh, it's me yellow monkey.
Lee sent me these pictures earlier on, and I was like, is he moving some fish on? And then I saw the yellow monkey and thought, damn it, these aren't for me. This is mint, these.
Yeah.
There's something else.
That yellow monkey. So, hang on now. So,
it's just a chunky beast.
Last June, that was about 30 cm. Okay. Now it's 70 cm.
Wow.
Flipping heck. So what you're saying is, if I had a yellow monkey, even I would have a chance of getting some good size on it.
As long as you're at 24 degrees all year round and putting 2 kilo of food in every day.
That's still a hell of a lot of growth, though, isn't it? That's
but what you've got, what I've got to stress is, this doesn't happen by accident. Like it does take some sort of knowledge which I gain off other people. I sit on giants' backs and listen to what they're saying. So you have to be humble enough to realize that you don't know everything and you need to listen to people, right? And it also, unfortunately, does take money, because like heating your pond all year round costs money. Yeah. Giving your fish 2 kilos of Sakiakari growth every day costs money, Like this doesn't happen. They don't just grow. Like you've got to will this to happen, and that takes money and knowledge. And you can't gain knowledge off your own account. Sometimes you have to take knowledge from people that's been doing it for a long time.
One thing that people have said to me, the ging ring crashagoi, you can get a ging ring crashagoi and they'll all grow big. I agree, they will, in the right circumstances. But I've got a sun's eye ging ring crashi in with my Dionichi yellow monkey down here at the shop. They've just come out of Tozai. And I ask, and they're all the same size. And I ask people that don't know what the difference is, which one's not the Dionichi fish in there. And every one of them pick it. They all pick the one that isn't, because the body frame on the Dionichi yellow monkey Gimring crashagoi is just different level altogether. The structure they hold is just full of presence, man. The backbone on them is as thick as your finger, and the head shape that they carry as well, different level as well. So yeah, you can grow them. Will you have a fish that represents that? Absolutely not. I've got one in the shop that's Sanzai at 67.5 cm, and that thing is just unreal. The body's there. The gin on it is top quality.
That's what I mean. The gin ring on them is.
Put my fish and your fish next to each other, Lee, just to see what the difference would be, because they're very hard fish to judge.
Am I right in thinking, Lee, though, that this fish wasn't supposed to be what it is?
No. So okay. So a year and a half ago, I phoned up Ryan and I went, Ryan, I said, I'm in the market for like a single coloured fish. I said, but I'm thinking if I get one, I want something of with some status. So I either want I really want like a yellow monkey. And he goes, oh pal, he goes, it cost a bloody bomb. And I went, okay. I said, what do you suggest? And he goes, well, I've got like a Ginnerin shag from Danichi as well with a certificate and all that kind of stuff. Not that a certificate means a lot, but it just, for me, it proves where that fish comes from and the parent set. Do you know what I mean? So I said, oh, okay. I said, so how much is the Ginnerin? I said, how much is the yellow monkey? And he said one price. And he goes, and I said, oh, how much is the Ginnerin shag? And he goes, another price. I said, all right. I said, okay. I said, like, no matter what people think, I'm not a millionaire. I work hard and I spent a lot of my pocket money on these fish. Okay. So this is my main hobby. I ain't like a millionaire. I haven't got like a car dealership or stuff like that. I genuinely spent a lot of money on buying the best quality fish I can possibly spend, right? And that's it. Okay. So at the time, I was like, I couldn't afford the yellow monkey. So I bought a Ginnerin Chagoy with a certificate with the parent set. I couldn't go up to get the fish for a while. So about 3 months later, they sent me the fish. I opened the fish like UPS or AP or whatever it was. Yeah, the box was horrendous. I'm surprised the fish even survived the journey. Okay, and I took the fish out and I thought, well, you can go back about like 15 months and see the video. I was like, I don't think this is a chagoy. I said, this is a yellow monkey. So I paid for a chagoy, but got a yellow monkey. So I was buzzing. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that was a happy mistake for me. And yeah, and that's the result. So I didn't spend a lot on that. Maybe 300 quid or something like that. And now I've had dealers come down to my place to have a little look and a bit of a chin wag, and they've pinned a price on that, what it would be if they were in their dealership. And I can tell you now, yeah, I could have, yeah, quite
Buy them
surprising.
small, grow them big.
Yeah, well, yeah, mate, that's the one. Go on, next one, Alan.
Next one.
Alan, can you remember that fish? Alan, can you remember that fish? Is Alan gone? Is he still there?
He just popped out. I think he's
up to the toilet.
Fell off his chair.
Prostate. He'll have a quick poo now. He'll be back.
This is lovely.
Blocks of colour on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ginnerin
So
as well.
that is a Ginnerin shower from Hiroi.
Nice.
And the reason it's good is because there's two Hiroi twins, so they can put in twice the amount of effort, right? This is my theory between Hiroi.
The Hiroi twins are
the Hiroi twins, yeah. Not the best looking twins I've ever seen, I'm not going to lie. But they know what they're doing. And actually, when I look at that video now, the pattern from a distance is quite pleasant, isn't it? It's almost like a Shiro pattern, but with the Benny and the, yeah. So when I bought that fish, I bought that off one of Ricky's auctions. Ricky from Koi Wholesale's auctions. Didn't spend particularly a lot of money on it. Yeah, possibly £500 as a Tozai, maybe 18 cm. And this Crafty, you remember this because I was on the shed, I think, and I took a screenshot of that picture. Before I bid on that, when everyone was bidding on the auction on Koi Wholesale for that fish, I took a quick screenshot, and then on my app, I coloured in where I could see the sumi. And then I know this sounds funny and this sounds stupid, but I blurred my eyes. I sort of crossed my eyes to make them blurred, and I looked at the pattern of the fish, and it made sense to me. And I thought, that's a nice fish. And yeah, I went ahead and I bid on it. and it was nice. So yeah, it's all come together. But that fish was in the National Koi Show last year. Can you remember, Alan? Is he gone again? Is he still there?
Oh, he's been for nibbles.
Yeah, and that fish was in for, I think that fish came second to what won Baby Champion in the National last year, didn't it, Alan?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Just like a little bit volume.
Yeah, but now it is 58 or 50, 55,
Not
57
volume
cm.
now, is it?
No.
Yeah, so it's not Baby Champion now, but it's yeah. But the one thing I don't like about a Ginnerin shower is that the Ginnerin always makes the Sumi looks washed out and like a sub quality. But if you look at that video, the Sumi looks really strong and really,
Inky
you know,
black.
affluent.
Do you
But
think
when
any more will come up through the head? Any more?
yeah,
Sumi?
there's a lot more to
a
happen
little-
with that video. And when I showed Ryan that video last week, he said, "Pal, I'm sitting on a fucking sponge." Yeah, I think he was leaking a little bit. He goes, "That's gonna do well next year," but it looks pleasant, doesn't it? You know, all the dorsal fin is like white. It's like,
Yeah,
like it's.
That's
I
really
say it looks
nice.
like it looks pleasant. Go on, Alan. What's your take on that?
You know my opinion on that last year at the National. I love that fish.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it a gin fish? Ginnerin fish?
Yeah, it is Ginnerin.
That's
Yeah.
Ginnerin, but it doesn't even look Ginnerin. But when you crafting in person, it's beautiful.
I mean,
it is like
I know the video on this is downgraded, so I've seen obviously the better quality footage.
Good night, Carol.
When we're looking at the gin on this sort of fish owl, right, the quality of the gin, correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that the gin should flow fluently from the back of the head all the way through to the odormate, and it should show in every colour. What we tend to find is that in the Sumi it disappears. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, I need to see that in the flesh to evaluate.
Yeah. That's just like one of the qualities when we're looking at the higher quality band.
And it's got
Like
to have more than
for the show fish,
more than 3 rows at either side of the dorsal as well, hasn't it? To be classed as
to
Ginnerin.
qualify as a gin, yeah. But it's got to go all the way through, and it's got to be present and seen. I know that fish does.
So with this fish, Crafty, I can't wait for you to see it in real life. Okay, it's mate, it's my fish, but you know, like I'm really reserved and I'm really humble. Okay, and I truly am. And this fish in real life, you're gonna love to see it. It's really spectacular. Mate. Hiroi is the master of Ginnerin, like fish. I love his Ginnerin stuff. You can't get better, I don't think. Not what I've seen anyway so far.
I mean, the experience I've got with Hiroi, I couldn't get any this year. Too late in getting there, and when we went up there, the fucking door was locked. So
I can remember.
He's one of my favourite. He's one of my favourite Japanese breeders. His fish are fantastic, man. Absolutely fantastic. But
yeah. But this fish.
That video really shows good skin quality. When you lift that fish out the water and the back comes up, just look at the shine.
Yeah, actually, I'm looking at my TV behind, which is like bigger. What you can't see is the Ginnerin element of this. So when I lift the fish up, when I lift the fish up, the Sumi looks like it's blocked, like a traditional shower, but it's not. Every one of those, you can see it. Every one of those scales are defined with a beautiful shine. Trust me, I can't wait to take this for Alan to see. You know, whether he's judging or whether he's not judging, it's just I want that fish to be seen. It's like, but look at the dorsal fin all the way through. Yeah. It's crisp white. It's just like, you know, Joe, from the lateral line down. It's like what's that?
You're starting to sound like Joe. Oh, look at the dorsal. Oh.
Joe, what you doing about Joe?
Keeping an eye out for a show. That is for sure, mate.
It's a nice fish, mate. You can see that fish. Mate, as long as I can keep it alive before the national, it's going to be a nice, spectacular. Yeah.
I'm sure you will. That's the last one, Lee. So, quick
Oh,
recap.
well, let's get something else on then.
The yellow monkey,
Not the yellow
Thank you.
monkey.
Sankey, and the Kaku. That's very similar spot pattern to that one.
It was a Crafters.
Perfect Aquatics, Lee.
I could have sold that today.
Hey, oi, Crafty, fucking wind your neck in, pal.
I said could have.
Yes. If you sell that, I will never talk to you again. Has anybody
Yeah,
ever
'cause
seen the Harry
no-
and the Hendersons from the 80s?
No, well, because he's growing it on for me in his pond.
No, he's not, Gaz. It's
Put dibs
my
on it.
fish. It's my fish.
You only spotted it because it were on my video.
Yes, that's true. And I'll
There
accept
you go,
that.
That gives me 10% ownership.
It's actually my fish.
Yeah, true. Belters, them. Absolute stunners. Sounds like a used car salesman, Aaron says.
So anyway, that's only 5 or 6 in the pond of
You
30.
still should have kept them secret, mate.
Why?
No,
Mate, why
never
can I
been
keep
there.
things...
They appreciate
Yeah, but
the appreciation.
Crafty, you've got to understand, why would I keep things secret when I'm trying to, like, expand the hobby? I want to tell everyone that you can do these things.
He doesn't keep the mosquito bloody secrets.
Right, let me show you the mosquito right now.
Clean it out.
Ah, I'm joking.
Oh, I was ready and poised then.
Pause.
You got some stunning fish, Lee. I look
Yeah.
forward to seeing them at show.
Only a
Michelle.
couple.
Mate, all the rest are full of, like, ulcers, but...
Yeah. Cheer up, man. Right then. I don't think we've got any more topics for the evening. Let's switch that off. But I've had my I've just been getting God knows how many people.
What about you, Rick? Have you had any spawns yet? I saw you setting up the hatchery.
No, next week we start.
Right. Cool.
Should be all right.
Rick, I've been sorry to butt in again, but I've been watching lots of Vince's lives. I don't comment. I just watch in the shadows like a naughty assassin. But yeah, it's looking very good, brother. Well done. And I really would like to come down and see you guys at some point soon. So we'll see.
Go for it. We're always
Anyway,
there.
Rick, how far away do you live from Heathrow Airport?
Hour and a half.
Oh, that's no good then. Okay.
I'm
Whatever.
not coming up for you.
He lives at the end of the world.
I'm
End of the
desperately trying to find
End of
someone who
the
lives about
world.
10 minutes away from Heathrow. So I can park my van there.
Good night, Gwen.
No, Vince is closer.
How far
Let's-
away is Vince from Heathrow?
It's the best part of an hour up the road, so he can only be half an hour from Heathrow.
Oh,
can't
no,
he?
that's no.
25
Mate, mate,
M3.
Kevin Nash, you're still number 1, 45 minutes away.
We've got 2 more things that I need you guys to have a look over for us. One is an identification of some parasites so we can see if we can help Chris out. And the second one is for that koi guy because he's got a problem. I think it's his Yamabuka and he wants us to have a look at it and see if we can shed any light on what we might or what you guys think it might be. So first one we're going to just share up now will be the slide from Chris Taylor. And he wants to know, Costria or Chiladinella?
This is Chiladinella.
That's chlamydia.
That's Chilo, mate. That.
Is Chiladinella the one that looks like a kidney bean?
Yeah.
It looks like
It's
that on a
got
slide.
target filament coming out of it.
If you look at the behaviour of that,
That's Costia.
I want to say
That's
Googled
Costia.
Costia, and that one's Costia.
Yeah, that's Costia. Chilander is the same size as Trichadina. It's really obvious.
And if he's got them
Same
both
size.
in
That's
green,
bigger than that.
slide.
That looks like my mum in Asda from a bird's eye view.
Now, just for argument's sake, treatment for both Costia and treatment for both Chiladinella, are they the same treatment? They can both be treated with Alprex. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Don't know.
regardless of whichever it may
Al.
be,
Al, how would Al treat them?
A neutral
Press
bastard.
Bit of PP?
FMG does it. I have better results with Alfrex and Costia.
yeah. Would you PP first and then go in with Alprex?
No.
Or just straight in with the Alprex?
In Alprex, just acroflavin and malachite mixed together.
Yeah, but it looks like Hulk piss.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's just malachite. Yeah.
See, Costia there is the black in the slides. You see it there. Look, a lot of people struggle to pick it up. So whatever microscope you got, Chris, is good.
Yeah, it's just,
Costia can be seen at 600 times. Yeah.
Yeah, so actually, what microscope have you got? Because lots of people ask me about microscopes, so it's really good to like share the knowledge.
I don't PP before Alfrex now. I just
No.
add Alfrex after a filter clean.
What's formalin used for then? I thought that was for
that's what we use for Costia.
Costia, yeah.
It's the only thing we use for Costia, but you've got to use it at quite a strong dose.
Right.
So, but yeah.
All right. Then the next one is for Ross, the koi guy. He wants us to have a look at I think it's his Yamabuka, and see if you can tell what this is. I think I know what it is, but I'm going to say, let you guys give your opinion. See if I can make that a little bit bigger.
He's got a massive play button on his eye. Oh no, sorry.
At first, he thought it were cart pox, but it's the whiting around the bottom lip on the fish.
Mouth rot.
That's what I thought. That's exactly what I thought as soon as I saw it.
Yeah.
And unless it's gay.
So mouth rot. Best
Yeah.
form of treatment for mouth rot.
PP
Yeah.
dip.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is rot. Yeah. I was just looking. It's got a bit of pox on the top of it as well. But yeah, that's definitely rot. You can see it. You can see it better on the other when it's facing you more.
When it comes and turns around.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like
It looks like Jimmy Somerville in the 80s.
Sorry, Jimmy.
Sorry, Jimmy. You
It's
do
a
make
bit
me
weird,
feel.
isn't it? Normally with mouth rot, you'd see a bit more either fungus or red inflammation, but that
It does look a little bit of fungusy on the outer part of the lip though, but not a
Unless
lot.
it's swollen, yeah.
But yeah,
Course of
Again.
treatment.
I'd just try malachite, just malachite in the pond. There's so much cart pox on that fish and another fish that goes by.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you try a PP dip?
I wouldn't,
No.
but you can try it.
But for my sake, why wouldn't you? Because I'm learning now.
To catch the fish out and put PP dip it, obviously you can do quite a bit of damage in itself. From that, I can't 100% guarantee that is
Mouth
rot, or it's not just
It
got
could be
a
pox,
crazy
couldn't it?
cart pox on its lip.
Yeah.
For me.
On its peck, it's got looks like a bit of fin rot as well.
But yeah, and I think it's got so much cart pox on that, and the Kahaka goes by that. Yeah, I mean, do a scrape, make sure there's nothing else going on.
I mean,
If you
there's
look at the
definitely a bit
left
of pox on
pectoral
the
as it comes round, it's definitely got
that's
some on there
that
too.
peck.
Well, which would be its right pectoral as it's swimming
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, there's so much cart pox on that fish and the Kahaka that it could be pox. It just weirdly positioned on the lip.
Yeah.
And obviously, if that's the case, just bring the salt up in the pond, really. But yeah, just wait for temperature.
Yeah, I mean, it's has it had pox before? I would say probably. I've got a Saragoy in my pond that is evil with cart pox at the minute. If they don't go in the summer, that fish is gone because I know it's going to come back and keep coming back. But
He's just Ross is there. He's in chat now. He's just said there's no redness at all. and that fish and the other fish has lots of carp pox. That's why I was thinking it might just be bad carp pox.
It might just be pox on the just a funny place to have it, but
it just looks on that shot there that it looks like there's a bit of fungus in there. That's what took my to mouth rot. But yeah,
you're just a koi dealer. It's carp pox, kind of.
all right, mate.
All right, Alan. Jesus.
But to answer your question,
get some new trainers.
Acroflavin is good for your fin rot and your mouth rot.
Do you know what, mate? This northern aggression. Fucking Al, come on.
I quite like the people cheering when it goes past.
The thing with carp pox is no treatment for it, though, is there?
No.
Heat.
Yeah. Heat.
And salt, maybe.
Heat and
my experience, salt as well.
Yeah.
Salt does help, but it doesn't cure, does it? But it can help it go quicker with a bit of heat alongside
Well,
it.
the thing is, mate, no offense, 12 months ago or something like that, I looked down at my Chibini side, had lots of modules on it, and I thought to myself, oh no, is that an injection? Yeah, just dipped it in like a heated tub with some salt. Yeah, all the warts went.
Perfect.
Perfect.
There's only 2 fish in the pond with it. Maybe the 2 fish with the lowest immune system, mate, or the 2 newer fish that are younger than the rest.
Or maybe the 2 male fish that get on well. I don't know.
But there you go. Hopefully that helps, mate. I'm not so sure if it does.
Yeah. Looks like he's had a bit of Botox, doesn't it?
Oh, bless.
I mean, you should as that fish gets older, it should build up a better immunity to it anyway.
Yeah.
So, it's quite carp pox is more susceptible on smaller, younger fish.
Yeah.
And as the immunity builds, it generally able to fight it away. Some fish will never ever get the immunity that it's required, and it'll keep coming back. You've got to give it time.
Yeah.
So to that end of things, next year you should definitely book a VAT in the National Koi Show.
And that'll cure your carp pox.
100%.
Just don't bring that fish and put it in there.
No, it's going to be fully healed by next year.
Yeah.
Alan, if a fish turns up at the show with pox, is it immediately can you still put him in the show?
No.
With pox or not?
Supposed to be disqualified on the bench.
Yeah.
And if someone turns up on the Friday,
team for my VAT must have been blind then.
So imagine that, right? If say Lee turns up on the Friday, one of his fish is disqualified, he can't go back home. He's there for the weekend. What happens then?
Hospital tank. Well, it can stay in the vat, but it'll just not get judged. Or
all right,
if it's poorly, it'll stop in the vat. It doesn't have to take it home. You've got to remember, lots of people travel miles and miles.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine you turn up with 10 fish and one of them's disqualified. You're like, oh, I'm going home then.
Yeah, but Rick, no offense. Realistically, if you do enter a competition for your fish and you are diligent enough, that shouldn't. You don't develop carp pox overnight, do you? You should realise that you've got it.
Yeah, but if you've got one fish with it, does that automatically disqualify all of your fish?
No.
So that shouldn't be a thing, really. But I did walk around like the national last year. I did walk around, and you do have loads of fish. Obviously, they come from nationwide, so different waters, qualities, different like temperatures and all that kind of stuff. And you do find loads of fish in various different forms of show quality. Do you know what I mean? Like some are quite got a lot of mucus. No, but you can walk around. You can see the diligent hobbyists that have really conditioned their fish, and some that are just try. I'd sort of go, oh well, okay, we'll have a go. For instance, I don't know if might happen this year. You don't know. So imagine 2 weeks before the National Koi Show, I have a massive outbreak with some kind of parasite. I've got to treat them. They get mucused up. I can't really reduce the temperature. I can't really do the feeding regime I need to do. And they are absolutely trashed. I wouldn't try to take those to the koi show because you've got experts judging them. Do you know what I mean? So it's a difficult situation, isn't it? You like you've you've got this like 12-month period where you're trying to like condition your koi for the perfect zenith of their condition, and then you've got like a mishap where you've got, oh god, I've got costia, I've got this, I've got that. The pond might have broken. You've got like you've had a power strike when you were away on a weekend with your missus. You've come back, they're all mucused up, and then you struggle to try to get them into like condition for the show. Would you chance to take them all fully mucused up, or would you just go, okay, that vat's empty, I've paid my charges, so I'm just going to come and drink with Chip and Ian Jenkins? Like, what would you do?
But it must happen. You're netting the fish up, bangs his nose on the net, sod's law,
dude.
And you're like, that fish has now got that red top lip. You think, well, bollocks.
It's mad. And you know what? 2 weeks ago, I netted a particular fish up. I'm not going to tell anyone what that fish was, but I netted a fish up to show a friend, a good friend. And yeah, bit of a split peck. It's going to heal quite quick because it's a simple split. But it's as easy as that. Mate, bagging fish up for a show is really quite, it's quite important, do you know what I mean, to get that correct. When you wake up in the morning, so like for instance now, the koi show, National Koi Show on a Friday morning at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm awake on the Friday. You wake up, have a bit of toast, have a cup of tea, and then you've got to bag your fish. So you've prepared your fish and you've conditioned them as best as you know how, and then you've got to bag your fish to go to the koi show. That's stressful. It's really bad because you've got to like net these fish and bag them, put them in a box for about a 4 or 5 hour journey, and put them into totally virgin water in a vat that you trust people in this show to be able to get correct with the pHs and the KHs and hopefully the temperature, because you're on like the porthole that shows you the temperatures and all that kind of stuff. And this has all got a massive knock-on effect with how your fish are going to show on the Saturday when they actually get judged. Do you know what I mean? So it's all difficult. It's all relevant. It's all a massive stress environment for yourself and for the koi.
Yeah. Well, I catch them every day, and it's a nightmare. You guarantee you catch one for a customer, and it's goes mental in the net and splits something, bangs something.
Yeah.
Scale goes floating past, and you're like,
it's mad, isn't it? And you're like, oh my god. And they're thrashing on. You're netting them, and you might have netted them like a dozen times in the last 3 months. And then this one time you net them and you think to yourself, why are they thrashing around so much? And you go like, oh my God.
Yeah. Mate.
Just thought I'd share these that have just been sent through to me. So 10 guesses if we can guess who sent these.
Alan.
Ryan.
That Japanese guy.
No, that's not Ryan.
It's not Ryan.
Ryan, you up.
Look at that.
Yeah.
No, it's not Ryan. It's too focused.
Mate, I bet you Ryan's watching. Watch out.
Well,
Go back one, Gaz.
You guys should recognize these.
We stopped here when I was in Japan.
You did,
And
mate.
all of that was covered in snow. All of it. You couldn't even see the pond.
So I am going to, when I go to Japan this year, next week, I'm going to go to Danichi. I'm going to buy a pair of Showa boxer shorts.
I mean,
And I'm going to do some open water
watching?
swimming. And some
Send him a
koi
link.
I'm guessing he must be.
Send him a link. Get him in.
What time's it over there now, though?
No idea,
About
but
5 o'clock. 6
Let's
o'clock.
see if we can.
Who is it?
Fujiomo's on the line, isn't he?
Come on, Fuji.
Studio-san. Click on the link. and come and join us.
He's just woken up out there, isn't he?
The birthplace of koi, this area is which is called oh my gosh.
I can't read it, man. It's blurry.
Yeah, Yamagiria
Yamagihira village.
In Nagaoka City, is that right?
Nagaoka, yeah.
No, I mean, I've been blown away. I've had a couple of little chats with this gentleman and absolutely blown away that he even responded.
Fujio is a top boy, mate.
Sent him a nice message today just to say I'm really looking forward to being part of the Growing Show event and being able to purchase and get your fish. And the fact that you're going to be judging them is absolutely mint.
Yeah, it's quite a nice honour actually for the person that makes it happen to have a look at the judge. It's a good honour to have Alan on it as well.
I was waiting for that because you're going to get some juice.
I mean that though, to be honest. It's nice.
Humble crafty. Doesn't sound right.
Something wrong there.
Not every day of the week you get a message from somebody like that, is it?
And he's there looking at it.
He's going to send you some fish, Gaz, I heard.
Well, I shall be getting one of his fish, mate, in the very near future.
He's going to send you a whole box over.
Gaz, I've got one of his fish that we just showed. The Sankey, if you want that, you can definitely have that one.
I just said dibs on that.
There we got a thumbs up. Must be watching.
He's probably got to download StreamYard.
Do you know what though? In NND, mate, Fujio, Makoto, and Kobayashi-san, they are absolutely legends, aren't they?
Yeah, mate.
And
they're
class, aren't they?
You know,
and you know what, right? As a company, they all, yes, obviously, they all, before the great earthquake in 2004 or wherever it was, yes, they had their own little koi farms and they came together to produce NND. But I think as a collective, I think they're stronger. I think Omasako is absolutely fantastic at the advertisement part of the company. I think Makoto is an absolute expert at actually probably the more nitty gritty sort of getting down to sort of the actual workings of the farm and getting his hands dirty. And then we've got Kobayashi, which is great with probably, if you agree as well, Anthony, is sort of the business part of things.
I think it's a team, isn't it? A team of.
It's a great team, mate. I don't think. I think they don't. I don't think they butt heads very much in the department that they actually specialize in. I think as a trio, I think that's a really great way to run a company, isn't it?
I would say that NND while I was there, although, like I said to Fujio, NND have got a special place for me, full stop, simply because it was my first expensive, high quality fish that I ever bought. So you never ever take that away. It's like losing your virginity. You always only comparing it to one person.
And that's why one of my aunties will never forget me.
But when I was there, just the experience that I was given as a dealer to go from the selection of the NND Shiro onto the Sankey and then up the road to going through that Torii gate, which just made my day because I loved it. That's the sort of thing. It's like all of a sudden it's there, and it's like that. Just for me is what Japan's all about. to go up into that small little house and then spend, a couple of hours with Kobayashi, who's actually testing you in that pond, flicking me fish that don't make the grade, just to see if I'd take them, and then buying the Azakari fish as well. That the amount of time and personal sort of touch that they give that you don't get from all the breeders. It just made the experience, and going to Japan special for me, actually. I think NND fish as long as I'm in this job.
I think NND is a really unique company where they've got everything. They got the business correct, they've got the advertising correct, and they've got the product correct. And I think it's a
not
full.
Just that, Lee, but like the likes of Fujio that does take time out of his day to appear in videos, and he does send them personal messages. All of that is an extra touch that, because there's a trio, they're getting the time to be able to focus on that part. And NND are not massive in the UK. They should be.
They should be. I don't understand. Yeah.
Globally, they're very big, but in the UK, not huge, and they should be. Their fish are outstanding. I mean, that's their calendar.
But I truly believe why they're not like as big as they should be. It's because they haven't got that. It's the name. I'm sure it's NND. It just doesn't ooze any kind of soul. It doesn't sound like Yamaguchi. It doesn't sound like Tafaguchi. It doesn't sound like Danichi. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like very, I don't know, just flat. I do believe it's like the name that really puts them down for some reason. I don't know why, but
I'm not.
They just need to have an eye on it. Be sorted.
I think as well that the fact that we got three separate breeders that come together after an earthquake, that destroyed everything that they'd worked towards, and they'd grouped together to then make an enterprise. The only thing that I'd like to see from NND is having the ability to hand it down and carry it on. At the moment, I'm not sure where that's going. They haven't got the son to pass it down to bring on like you do.
Hold on.
Tafaguchi's going out there and he's staying.
Hold on. I'm willing to make love and marry anyone to get in there.
Rick, you seen it coming, didn't you? You just seen it.
No. I'm after apparently Takano has got a beautiful daughter. I haven't met her yet, but I'm sure when it happens and I speak the international language of love.
Have a look at them, Alan. Tell me what you think. I've been asked if you would cast your view over these fish, please.
Pretty.
No, timed out for 5 minutes. You're done.
Yeah. Fish with potential, some of them. Goromo is going to be a nice fish.
Yeah, Goromo is nice.
The Shua Goromo potential as well.
Let's not talk about the Shisui.
Short head. That's the only issue I've got that fish.
Is that a Goromo Sanka or Goromo Showa?
Well, it's too early to tell yet. Sanky.
Yeah, he's looking thin. Yeah.
Yeah, look.
And Lee, apparently she's only 14.
What you're saying are the safest bets are the Goromo.
Yep.
Yeah, nice.
The Goromo Sankey could be.
Yeah, it could be something good.
There we go.
That zoom is on it, man. For God's sake.
No, Shisui fan, Alan.
For me, a fish has to have a broad head on it. Something that's got a pointy head will always have a pointy head, and that fish has got a pointy head.
Yeah.
If it grows a nice big fat cheeks, it'll get away with it. It'll have a fat head then.
Fatted. Love a
Give me
cheeky
this some
face.
drumsticks.
It's pretty unique, though, isn't it? I mean, it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
a lot. See, the thing is, a lot of our customers will go for that all day long over the other fish,
regardless
because
of the
it's like,
head.
wow.
Yeah,
It's got
they will.
big-
The only issue you would have if you put it in the show, it would have to go into Kawari Mono
Yeah.
because it's not blue, it's white. The same when people drop snow asagis in any show, it's going to be in Kawari Mono.
So even though it's basically it's a Shisui Kahaku, yeah.
So if Vince is going to put a snow asagi in the national, it'll be in Kawari Mono.
It's not snow. It's not snow enough to be a snow asagi. It's definitely got blue in it.
Is it? That's all right.
Yeah, there's Ginrins that are going to Ginrin class. When it
No, that
they're not going to Ginrin class.
no, only Ginrin or Gosangi. All others go into their classification. Ginrin Shiro goes in Shiro. Ginrin Goshki goes in Koromo.
There you go.
Ah, damn it. Ginrin.
Best Ginrin at the National 2004.
2004. Jesus, I wasn't even born then.
He was 7.
2004.
Yeah, but
2004.
doing the math.
Oh, I just came back from Iraq then. Yeah, I was still alive just.
Yeah, came back from my holidays to find it dead.
Oh,
Why
no.
does it always happen when you're on holiday?
Well, my daughter,
Always.
who I always trust with everything, didn't mention that the auto feeder had filled the pond full of bloody food, and then the power cut off, and the bloody thing jumped out. She didn't even know it jumped out. I got back. But what can you do?
Yeah.
Chuck your daughter in the pond. See how she liked it.
Shit happens, doesn't it? This is the trouble.
We're getting some shit here, listen. As long as people can't fix the difference between Kuromo and a Garomo, you will continue to be objects of ridicule.
There we go.
Ridicule away, Atsumi.
I've never actually known if this guy's ever put in a nice comment yet.
It's very subjective, mate.
Feel free to bring your educated self onto the channel and educate the masses rather than standing on the sidelines shouting, "I'm an asshole."
He's actually very knowledgeable, Gaz.
Oh, I imagine he would. That's why I'm saying if he feels free to come in and put some education forward and teach people something. We lost Lee. He's passed out.
It's not for another bottle.
He's gone for another bottle of wine.
He's
Yeah.
got to take some air.
Was that about the free fish we were looking at a minute ago?
Yeah.
Well, it's a thing, isn't it? Garomo to me.
Yeah.
No, that was a.
That's different, isn't it?
Bet Lee's battery died.
I bet it did. Yeah, probably gone on him. He's got some nice fish. I know.
Yeah.
He's got some nice fish in that. Some of that selection there.
Some bangers. Yeah.
Well, like the show then, shouldn't he?
He should. He's got backups for backups for backups, hasn't he?
Are you people calling the koi the goi? In Japan, yes. Are we calling the koi the goi? No, koi with a K.
Who's asking this?
Translation.
Is it pronounced goi in Japan, not koi?
Is nishiki goi, brocaded carp. Goi is carp, but we just call them koi because that's what we've always called them. Because we're English and they do koi. Brocaded carp. Goi is carp, but we just call them koi. Am I on your Google? We're English and they do koi.
We get a double loop back.
Who's that coming from?
Yeah, but Nero, you've got to remember
We
that
got
different cultures and different places in the world they don't carry what the British or the English people, they don't speak like that.
Is Alan watching it?
Alan, you watching?
Alan.
Yeah.
Alan.
Al, you're watching us. You're actually a part of it. You're feeding back through your microphone. Guy Event says, got to go working in the morning night, guys. Thanks very much for joining
I
us.
haven't even left work yet. Shandy.
There we go. Alan stopped watching us whilst watching himself whilst being on it.
Time for a jelly baby.
What are you eating again? Notice, mate, I am famished.
Jelly babies.
Are you just staying there tonight, Crafty? No
Pure
point going
energy.
No, I was going to get home halfway through, but it got quite interesting. I didn't want to not be part of it because it was good.
Which bit was interesting? I must have missed that bit.
Let's see if we can do this gentleman a favour anyway. So I can't be called for somebody coming on and sharing his knowledge and his wealth of experience with us. I'll give you a bit of a pop your channel out there, mate. So hopefully you can get a few more than 46 subscribers.
Yeah, but his subscribers, his list is made up of everyone's videos. You will find that your videos are probably on his page as well, Cass.
I hope so.
Mine certainly are.
There's his link, guys. Swing by, show him some love, show him some support. Let's see if we can help him grow his channel. If you want any tips on how to grow your channel a little bigger, mate, feel free to drop me a private message.
Alan, could I class as your love child? Now I've got my glasses on.
Sugar daddy, more like.
Did you see on my video, the last part of my video, Cass?
The last part of your video, yes, the the look of love.
Yeah.
The look of love.
Have you seen it, Al?
It's got the look.
Did you see the look of love? How you were staring lovingly into Crafty's eyes at the end of the video?
At the time, I was thinking, who's this? Bell End?
Do you like got the rental done?
You're a liar. You sent me a text saying, my missus just said, what the fuck are you laughing at?
We run out of things
if
to
I
talk
play
about.
with your mosquito, will you smile? I'm sure he would.
Bloody happy with your mental.
He is, mate. And it's crackers. Belting though. But I do agree with a lot of things. A lot of things that has been said tonight. We all really should get behind the koi scene more.
100%.
And I tell you what, Daz, as we might have to see if we can have a go at one, at least at one event. Just even if it's not just for the laughs and bands.
I'd love to be part of it. I mean, I've been going to different shows for different stuff for years, and it's always been the highlight of my year, going to shows, the banter and just catching up with all the other dealers and everything. It really is a buzz. And I imagine the koi scene will be just the same.
There you go. What you could do is rent a vat at the National. Don't put any fish in it. You go there on the Friday, buy the best fish, drop them in your new vat. Just keep them there for the weekend. Alan will look after them, and just take them home at the end.
Let's see some of your koi guys. Have you any videos? I've 490 odd, mate. Oh, sorry, 420 odd, I think. There's my koi on nearly every one of them. Very few where I've balled them up, though. Someone saying that AP's asked, have you guys ever had a koi, a blind koi?
Yeah.
I've had one-eyed koi.
I've had a fish here that had it was a coda shipment I had, and it turned up without any eyes. It was funny as fuck, man. I purposely left it because I've said before I've got someone that always buys the misfits, and off it went. It's like all the fish are over here, and that one fucking swims over here. And then as soon as the food hit the water, it just weren't nowhere near the food. It eventually got to one, like a bit of food. It was great.
Well, I caught some carp at a lake, and the first fish I caught is it got one eye. When I say it's got one eye, it didn't even have an eye socket on the other side. It was just smooth. I thought, that's freaky. Later on in the day, I caught another one with no eyes, and again, no eye sockets on either side. They must have been seriously inbred or something.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that before. I've never seen anything like it since. But obviously, it does happen. And these fish were probably about 2-3 pounds, so that they managed to survive long enough to get that big.
The food's there. Why not?
This is it. I think it's the lateral line for picking up
the nostril, mate.
Yeah, they smell it as well. Yeah.
Right, are we running out of stuff? Because I might get.
We are. Quick question there from Chris Brand. Question for Lee and Crafty. I have SFF Sankey. It's only had one spot of truma and nothing else showing as of yet. And the Benny and the skin is extremely good. What can you tell us on this development?
Sankey in itself, you may not even see where the sumi is, period. You will find that time is your best friend. You've got to be extremely patient. Will it come? No guarantees. There's a chance, but there's definitely no guarantee.
Yeah.
Best way of how to induce
randomness
in guy.
Keep them separate.
That's a question for Rick.
Yes. Good lighting.
Lighting,
music,
separation, water change.
Barry White.
What about temperatures, Rick? Do you play with them to try and bring them on?
To be honest, the males, if they're at the right temperature, you put any fat fish in there, and they're normally all over them. But yeah.
What's the optimum temperature, Rick?
18, 20 degrees. They're normally in the right window. So you normally, what we do is normally put the males in the day before, and kind of starve them. They'll chase each other around for a bit and realise not a lot going on, and then you drop a nice female in, and they're like, boom. But you get some just aren't that interested. You know, some males are really male, really dominant, and they want to spawn with everything, and you get others that ain't that fussed. Yeah,
I've got a couple like that. Chagoy and Yamabuki. Whatever you put in front of them, they're on it like a tramp on chips.
Yeah, you get some proper brandy ones, rough as old boots. You don't win everywhere.
Sorry, just answering Dino's question. Doing well, mate. It's about last time I measured him, which is 2 weeks ago. It was just over 18 cm, so I'm reckoning he's probably about 19, 20 now. But he's doing well. It is nice. He's doing good.
So we're trying to get a lot more live footage of do the spawnings and whatever, so people can see exactly how we do it.
Yeah.
No secrets.
Yeah.
We're still on for the week after the national.
Yeah. Yep.
Bring Lee with you and get a bit Airbnb. Have a threesome.
I don't know if Al could handle me and Lee for 10 minutes.
Oh, Al could.
Of course he
And the
will.
mosquito.
From up north, mate. He'll slam you to under the table.
Mate, I've got to make sure he stays awake behind the wheel. You know what these old folk are like when they're driving.
He lives so far away, you might as well fly down. Newcastle to Bournemouth, only about 30 minutes.
He's got his own jet.
We need to organise an event and get something started for a visit somewhere.
All of us turn up.
Yeah, do a big full on job and
Do
invade
the
somewhere.
live.
Yeah,
Live from the fish house.
Yeah.
Should we all just
Live from
invade
the
New
pub.
Forest Koi? Could you handle us all, Rick?
Easy, mate. Give me a case of Stella.
Case of Stella and a barbecue and a
Not Stella, mate. It's
laughing, aren't they?
cases mad as fuck or wife beater.
Yeah. Get into that. Right. I'll be there all summer, won't I?
So you doing the event, Rick?
Hey?
You doing my event?
I think so. I don't know. I'm still getting a
28.
bit behind at work at the minute. Next Sunday, isn't it?
Fucking problems, mate. Just
2
solutions.
Sundays away. Who's choosing Lee's fish for him? Can I come and choose them?
Ow is.
I want to choose the
Yep.
skinniest little runts for him.
Yeah.
What's Atsumi, man? As much as I appreciate you, what the fuck is hidden poika?
Yeah, I was just thinking that. What's one of them? What's organizer? What a hidden?
Hidden kai.
No idea. What's my top 3 favorite varieties? Yamabuke being my favorite.
Deutsch Yamabuki.
An Aragoki Yamabuki.
Matsukawabake and my Beniginga. I like Beniginga, but I do quite. I didn't really like them all that much at the very beginning when I first started keeping koi, but the Garomo is quite a growing different variety as well on my favourites. But yeah, Yamabuke, Matsukawabake. And I like the Beniginga because it's a more of an old traditional fish.
Mm.
I
You
like
don't see
them.
many of them about either.
No, not at all.
Thank goodness.
There we go.
Do not call a show. What is it then? Break it down. What is it? Search for.
They spelt it fucking different in two. Him. I'm trying to fucking look it up.
Google it on an American site.
Question for the guys: what budget drum filter would you say is the best? Well,
Is there such a thing as a budget drum filter?
Is a Draco
No.
the budget one?
not really. Dog, you're asking at wrong channel, mate. This is the GKP, and I have no idea of his whereabouts. But
It's about.
Skate
But
nets.
if
you're wondering
is-
where Skegness is, it's on the east coast.
So it's the National Tea Competition of Japan. The competition organised every year since '63 by the Minister
We
of
should have a tea
Agriculture,
competition.
Forestry and Feed, and is participated by tea producers from all over Japan.
Finest Darjeeling.
Thing is, I don't drink tea. I drink coffee.
To be
Top
fair,
3 varieties.
Yeah.
Anthony, what's your top 3 varieties?
Sankey, Achiba, and I haven't really got a third, to be fair.
Rick?
Depends on what day of the week it is and what I'm spawning. doesn't it?
What are you spawning that week?
Well, to be fair,
go with a Shiro for me third. I've got more Shiro than anything else.
So you're going to go with the
They're not
Shiro
up there.
then.
It's hard to beat Kahaku, Sankey, and Show, isn't it? I just today.
So yours,
Otherwise,
Daz.
Deutsch Sankey. Benny Kiko. And I'd say Deutsch Shower. I do like that.
The third is always a tough one, isn't it?
Alan?
Shearer.
No, you can't have that.
That was easy.
Shearer, Sankey, Kahaku.
Shuru Sankey Kahaku. And I'd have thought you would have slipped a Yamabuki in there as well.
Not a chance.
they're all good, aren't they? A good example of any variety. A good koi is a good koi.
Yeah.
Did you see Ryan entered in a little Yamabuki in for the Japan show, just for you, especially for you?
Did he? Well done. But he didn't get placed.
It's a nice example. It's really, really nice. So we're doing a tea show. So we have Thai food, PG, and Tetley's.
Yorkshire.
Yorkshire tea, made in Harrogate.
The only shows we do are beer festivals. They're pretty good, aren't they?
Yeah.
Not as good as koi. Not as good as koi festivals.
Yeah.
Saragoi. Oh, okay. Saragoi is a
Deutsch
strange.
Sankey is a good one, mate. I agree. That's a good choice. That's. I do prefer Deutsch, which Alan doesn't like because all those years spending all that time getting scales, to take them all off for scale patterns.
It's
They don't grow,
me, it's when,
but they just look sharp as hell.
the one that I've got in my pond, as you said, you'd have every day.
No, mate, that is nice. That.
But for me, it's when they get big, it's the body shape on them, mate.
Yeah, they look more like the carp, the common carp shape body, don't they?
It's just the mirror carp kind of gene interposed.
Because they don't get the length to them, and
No,
they end up more girth to them, don't they?
Yeah.
That's one reason. If I'm honest, my missus really like that fish. Nice fish. My missus really loved it. I wouldn't personally have it.
She likes the girthy ones.
She likes a bit of girth, right? It's one thing.
Chris Enton's asked, any experience with Swell UK pumps after a variable 10k litre per hour pump, and their price looks attractive for what looks like a copy of the year equivalent, all made by the same manufacturers, mate, different names, different brands, different badges. They're all
Don't
the same.
say
made by the
Swell
same-
in front of me. It's awful. Go on Perfect Aquatic site. We do any 10k pump that you need.
There you go. See?
The Swell ones. Don't put your money into there. Put it into a company
Perfect.
that will honour a guarantee, guys.
I do like the Sterigoi.
What was the budget drum? Did we ever come up with an answer? Have you ever used a
Then when I
bird?
say is the Draco drum's probably the cheapest
Yeah,
one.
that's what I
I
thought.
believe. I would have said the Draco is probably the
I would
cheapest.
have said Draco.
But to me, it's budget. You know,
But are they a budget still? Budget
is
drum.
there a budget drum? They're all dear. They're all
But
expensive.
if you're looking for a lower cost drum, is there anything wrong with looking for a second hand one?
No.
Yeah.
definitely not.
High spec second hand one.
Lee's got a second one.
We've got one Oazi drum running on the farm. We've had it's one of their original test drums from 10 years old, more than that now.
Yeah.
Still running. And I got 6 Filtro ones, and none of them are running.
Yeah.
That says it all to me. It's just
I took them off our shop floor when I got here, mate. It's like latest. The one on our main pond is 8 years old as well.
What time was
the
that?
Oazi one's been twice. It's probably more than twice the price.
Well,
Actually,
check
it's
that out.
lasted 6 times better. So
Michael, greetings everyone from St. Kitts in the Caribbean.
Ooh.
Nice. Thank you very much for
Wagwan.
Wagwan, I think that's Jamaica, isn't it?
Same sort of area.
Yes,
isn't it?
because it's
Caribbean.
different, isn't it?
Wagwan, me G fam.
joining. I think that slipped a bit down south.
Oh, is it? I'm well travelled.
Yeah, the Filtro drums they are cheap. And if you're willing to keep replacing bits, they're fine. But that's it.
I'm trying to think of that we had another one on the shop floor here.
I've heard good things about the Burton ones, but I've never used one, so I don't know.
1,200 quid it was, but it looked cheap. You know, everything about it. You could see it. You could see it had been made up off of the spare parts on the shop floor. You know, it was in a nice welded case, but then all the pipe work was just pressure pipe. It's like I could have done that myself. And it was cheap and cheerful, but I can guarantee in a year's time it's going to be knackered. So I didn't sell any and I sent them back.
Well, the answer's there, isn't it? The cheaper the drum is, the more it's going to break, pretty much. But if you're willing to do the bits.
If you're able, I'd rather put 1,200, 1,300 quid into a brand new Nexus, but you know, again, buy a second-hand Nexus. It's just a tub that flows water through a certain way. They don't break either, which is really good. Yeah,
well, that's the thing, isn't it? When a filter stops when you're on holiday, it's the trouble with drums, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they'll come, they're all singing, all dancing. Tell your phone that your drum stopped. Great, I'm in Spain.
They take a bit of setting up as well, to be perfectly honest, to get them working properly. They say, if you don't get your levels right, or the one outside on our 10-gallon pond, 10,000 gallon even, it's all pump fed, and just getting the right flow rates to make it balance, so it don't just constantly kick into overdrive on cleaning. It's been a fucking nightmare, if I'm honest. I think I've got it there now, though. You know,
all the pump fed ones I put in are always much easier. It's the gravity fed ones that cause all the problems.
See, it's the other way around for me. It's like too much flow going through too fast, and it was just filling up in the first chamber to kick off the clean, and then I've had to really lower the flow rates, which I'm not. You know, for me, it's probably in my head, probably a little bit too slow. I'd probably like it to be another 15% higher than what it is, but I can't do it because it literally triggers the cleaning cycle so quickly. It goes into overdrive. It don't balance itself.
Yeah, that's the thing. They got to be set up right. Anyway, I'm going to bed, lads.
Yeah,
you're boring me now.
Boring you. Sorry, sorry, Rick.
That's all right.
we are just kind of.
People are still in.
We've got 99 people still in.
Fuck me, man, that's quality.
3 hours, 40 minutes, 22 seconds. What size Nexus would you recommend? Size Nexus? Well, it'd have to be a 320 if you were going to go with a Nexus.
Well, it depends on the size of your pond. All right, it's always good to over filter.
Is as big.
Again, the size of your pond, 220 if you're on a decent, like 5,000 gallon, 10,000 gallon. An easy will put up with that. It's, again, how much money have you got? How much space have you got? Because they're not a small unit.
Yeah, you mean have a look around. You can pick up
Pretty big footprint,
good second-hand ones, reconditioned, and drums. Shop about, mate.
People shutting bonds down.
Yeah.
Right, I'm definitely leaving.
Thanks for joining us, Rick.
See you later.
Cheers.
Till next time.
Yeah.
Catch you later. He's mastered the leaving now, and he's got it down to a T. It used to be many times fault when Rick would sit there for about a good 10 minutes afterwards trying to find the button to leave. But he's got that down. Forgot to tell him cricket bat before he went. God damn it.
I was about to say, he's such a cricket bat.
Right, ladies and gents, thank you very much, everybody, for joining us this evening. Thank you, Lee, Alan, Rick, who's just gone, Anthony, and Ardaz. Usual thing, guys, if you've been enjoying this kind of content, do us a huge favour. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend, and until next time, keep smiling all, and we'll catch you on the next one. Good night, all.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
3, 2, 1. Get it in there,
bat.
Alan. Before we go, cricket bat.
You're all cricket.
Catch you all later.